So this is a test. I'm going to see how well this quality goes. How does this sound? How does this look? How is this? Look good? Look good? How does this sound? How does this look? How is this? Look good? Look good? Looking good? Okay. Looking good. We have 0 people watching, but that's okay. This is political. Just a quick... The only reason I'm doing this on this channel and not on my second channel is I realize that you cannot stream on brand new channels. At least I don't think you can. So my encoder OBS is switching between having 0 drop frames and a ton of dropped frames. But right now it looks like it's doing okay. I believe my audio is peaking. My desktop audio is having issues. My desktop audio is having issues. So let me know if you guys can hear the video fine. Okay, now let me make sure that played correctly. So let me know if you guys can hear the video fine. Okay, now let me make sure that played correctly. So I'm going to turn my speakers down and turn the volume on this up. And let me know if you guys can hear this properly and how well it sounds with my audio. Okay, now let's see how that sounded. And let me know if you guys can hear this properly and how well it sounds with my audio. Okay, now let's see how that sounded. Okay, did that play? I'm trying to see if that played. I think it did. Okay. Okay, did that play? So you guys could hear that video. For the record, I am not a fan of NBC News by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not a fan of a lot of the things that are going on during this debate. However, regardless, I still was engaged in the Republican debate back in 2016, and I'm involved in this one as well. So that's the only reason I'm streaming on this channel and not on politics is because of the fact that there is no way to stream on that channel yet.
The first Democratic presidential debate is just minutes away as viewers across the United States.
Okay, let me make sure that this played correctly. Okay, it seems to be a little bit quiet. My desktop audio seems to not be mixed properly, but that's... You know what? The whole point is mainly just so me watching it, reacting to it, and solely for archival purposes. So that's why. So that's why I'm doing this. So this is not. I'm not trying to stir anything up. This is purely to get my reaction on film and basically on record. So that way, whenever I can later upload this to the Politics channel, but I still want to have my live reactions to it. So this is what I'm doing right now, and this will maybe be a nice bridge for people who do enjoy politics to go over to my dedicated political channel. that I don't think I'm going to continue politics on this channel because it's obviously they're very polarizing, especially nowadays. There's a lot of issues going on that people are very strongly opinionated on, myself included. So I don't want to risk alienating my current audience, which I believe is diverse with enough hobbies and interests enough. So I'm probably going to, unless I get explicit requests to keep everything integrated into Intelitech Studios with everything else, so it's just a me channel, then unless that happens, then this will not stay up. This will not be a regular occurring thing on this channel. So bear through it. I know there's a particular viewer in the audience who has his views on this type of debate. That's okay. We are all entitled to our own opinions. That's perfectly fine. And obviously, I'm going to be giving my opinions on each of the candidates. On this channel, I have not discussed my preference of the candidates. In fact, I haven't done it on politics yet either because I've been lacking as far as uploading on there. I've made a lot of videos, but I haven't uploaded that many of them. And so that is one thing where you will likely, obviously, hear some of my opinions on the candidates during this. And if you disagree, that's fine. That's totally fine. We can totally disagree. Hopefully, since this is just the one video, or obviously two because the debate is 2 nights. If this is the one thing that we can hopefully be civil on, that's all I'm asking. And then if you want to be nasty as far as other videos that may appear on this channel that are regarding politics, I'm not going to say I'm going to give you permission for that because I think that we should all act like mature adults, even if we disagree on a certain topic, regardless of whether or not it's political. It doesn't matter if it's politics or if it's a cell phone or if it's a vacuum cleaner. If we disagree, we disagree. I feel that adults or even children who have a mature mindset should be able to understand that. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and get into this. And again, I'm not a fan of NBC News by any stretch of the imagination. This was just the one feed I could find, and obviously they are the ones hosting this particular debate. So that is what we are going to be watching. So let's get into this. I pressed the wrong button.
United States, tune in to watch these 10 Democratic contenders discuss some of the most important issues facing the country. Michael, Zerlina, Alex.
Okay, so let's see. Now I haven't looked at the roster in a while. So let me see if I remember all of the candidates that made it to this debate. There's 10 candidates. There's 10. I hold up for. There's 10 candidates. There's Elizabeth Warren, Tulsi Gabbard, Julian Castro. I believe John Hickenlooper is on this debate. Jay Inslee, Amy Klobuchar. I forgot the rest of them. Basically, if I forgot one of the candidates, chances are they're not all that important, and they're probably not going to make it very far in this race. And then obviously tomorrow night is going to be when the fire really hits the fan. That's when we have the four out of the 5 top front runners in the same debate. You have Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, and Pete Buttigieg all in the same debate, along with, you have Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson. Did that one have Hickenlooper? Something like that. Either way, I'm blanking off the top of my head. I just got off work and everything. I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep, so apologies if I get this wrong. This will probably be even more of a raw reaction. Again, this is mostly archival. So, yeah. So, anyways, I'm not going to be looking at the chat a whole lot, but it's there. And if you guys ask any questions as far as my opinions on something or whatever the case may be, I'll probably answer it, assuming it's not too controversial.
All back with us here in the studio.
So let's see what this says.
Alex, is there anyone tonight you think might be able to steal Elizabeth Warren's thunder?
I'd actually really look at Amy Klobuchar because I think
oh God,
she's
no.
going to try to distinguish herself.
No, Klobuchar, really? No, Klobuchar's not doing nothing. The only person that's going to distinguish herself from Warren is Tulsi Gabbard.
Move the ball forward. I'd be interested to see if she could really try to break out from that third, second two that she's in. And
Nope,
really
Klobuchar's not going to do it. Beto's not going to do it.
I see you nodding your head.
I mean, I do think there's an opportunity for Amy Klobuchar because she's
No.
different from those top 5 folks because she's moderate.
What?
Right, because she's more moderate, but I think she's
No.
the
Oh
one
my God.
in tonight's debate that could challenge.
These people do not know what they're talking about. It's been like a minute into this segment, and they've already gotten so many things blaringly wrong. And I'm not even talking about whether or not you agree with a certain candidate, but if you completely misconstrued their entire platform to the point where you make them the exact opposite of what their actual platform and policies represent, you're an idiot. And you're clearly not actually paying attention to what the candidate is doing. This is supposed to be these are supposed to be the news sources that we trust. CNN, MSNBC, NBC, Fox News. We're supposed to trust these people? Seriously. Like, why? Okay, whatever.
In that lane, right? Nobody else is buying for that lane, so I think that there is an opening.
Oh, nobody else is going for the Biden lane. Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, right off the top of the bat, 2 frontrunners right there. I mean, 3 out of the 5 frontrunners are moderates. 2 out of the 5 frontrunners are progressives. And you're telling me that Klobuchar has her own lane? Klobuchar has done nothing. No disrespect to Klobuchar, but she's done literally nothing as far as actually laying out a policy platform that she has in 2020. She does the same thing that many of these candidates are doing. They just say, oh, we need to make the country better. We need to do good things and not do bad things. And we're going to do blah, 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 blah. And they don't actually say anything. And it's ridiculous. Like, they're really, like, did they give any evidence as to why it is that Klobuchar can do it? They're just like, no, she's unique. No, she's not. But okay. She has a uniquely annoying voice. I don't know if that means anything.
But I don't know if that resonates with the
So does Ted Cruz, and he didn't win.
And so this early in the primary, you need that activist energy. You need those people organizing and knocking on doors and fundraising and making
really?
calls, and you're growing your coalition.
So
I don't know that there's that many people in the base that would support her, but she certainly has a message and can vie for that central lane.
Sure, Michael, how do you feel about that so-called
Well, she has a
activist
point.
energy? Who should the contenders be speaking to tonight?
You know, look, I think Julian Castro will do very well, and I'll tell you why. Members of the Hispanic diaspora of people, they are the fastest growing minority group in this country.
So, identity politics. No policies, no substance, no evidence, just their identity. Is that the same thing they're trying to say with Buttigieg? Buttigieg is a progressive because he's gay and speaks 7 languages. No.
I think criminal justice reform also impacts
Policy.
And also impacts Hispanics, education, and healthcare. Those 4 issues I think are very pivotal that both groups can look at.
Look at them all up there.
I'm black, but I agree with my Hispanic brothers and sisters on this.
Look at this. I love how perfectly their outfits all match. You have all of the see, this looks like a character roster from a video game where you're trying to unlock the good characters. Look at this. I did not plan that. This, like, you have all of these people wearing black suits or dark colored suits. They don't stand out. And then there you have Tulsi Gabbard in bright red, and then you have Elizabeth Warren in bright purple. And they just perfectly stand out among all the other candidates. I don't know if they planned it that way, but I think that worked out perfectly. So you have, like, the good characters unlocked, and then you have all the other ones still grayed out because they're not important. I find that kind of funny. And personally, in this debate, Gabbard is my favorite, and Warren is my second favorite in this particular debate. This one has a lot of obvious nobodies in the race. You know, we have some of these people I've barely even heard of before. And I've been following politics. You know, I've been following this election extensively. Every single person who's announced, every single person who's been in the race. There's 24 contestants in the race. And there's 4 that obviously did not make these debates. That includes Mike Gravel, Wayne Messam, Richard Ojeda, what was it? Seth Moulton, I think. And then Seth Howard, I think his name is, something like that. And 4 of those are still in the race. Richard Ojeda obviously dropped out back in 2018, which makes me very, very sad because I really wanted to see him on this debate stage. I really wanted to see Ojeda because after his performance in West Virginia, I think he did a very great job. And it's just, yeah, it's just crazy how, you know, there's just, yeah, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people going on in this debate. So yeah, let's continue.
Impacts us both, and I think you'll be able to do that tonight.
And also where do we stand as Americans, right?
That's right.
We see a live picture here.
America,
Candidates now
yeah.
taking the stage, and as we mentioned earlier, they're taking their
Woo.
positions at the podium.
Woo,
based on
America,
their
I can't do that.
recent poll. As a
America.
final thought, Serena, is there anything that we should be looking for tonight, or even asking ourselves as citizens while we're watching?
I think that I'm going to be listening in for talk about reproductive health care. That's an issue that was not brought up. It was not asked as a question from a news organization's moderator until Hillary Clinton brought it up herself in a debate. There were no questions about abortion. There were no questions about funding from Planned Parenthood and the stripping back of reproductive freedom. So that being a central issue with Georgia and Missouri and all these other states passing very restrictive laws to go straight at Roe v. Wade.
I talked about, that is one of the issues I did talk about on politics, because I've seen that.
Understand what's at stake for American women, because again, women are going to be the difference in this election, just like they were in 2018 and in 2016 and all the elections previously.
Which is interesting because I think this cycle we've seen a lot of
Wait,
issues.
women will be the difference, just like in every other election ever.
that we didn't really
What?
For example, reparations.
Did you not listen to how stupid that sounded?
I mean, these were once
Women are so important in every single election ever.
freshman dorm,
I mean,
poli-sci class.
you're not necessarily wrong, but it's like, what's your point there?
So, are there any other issues, Alex, that we should look out for or listen for that maybe haven't been discussed or even reported?
You know, I actually think just because of the events of today, immigration is just going to be top of mind for everybody, and it would be curious
Yeah,
if
that's
any
true.
candidates really go beyond just comprehensive immigration reform and attacking Trump, but actually articulate a positive, a different vision for immigration, whether or not it's Beto O'Rourke, who's from the border, or
Oh, no.
Julian Castro, who
Beto
obviously
O'Rourke?
is the only Latino candidate in the race.
And as they articulate that, we heard the students say they wanted the style and they want the substance. But is this going to be an opening night about style? I mean, are these candidates going to try to grab those?
Okay, when's it gonna start?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Are they just gonna keep commenting on this? I thought this was the point where it was supposed to start.
For Romney, Gingrich, and Carson, I've been to every single presidential debate with those three individuals. You have to have a moment that tomorrow morning's headlines will say, did you see what so-and-so said? Particularly now, because the media dynamics have changed from 4, 8, 12 years ago.
They're so instantaneous. Right.
Everyone keeps just telling me to unblock people and like not paying attention to this at all.
2016,
Okay,
and also
fine.
Now there are a lot of trolls and bots that we weren't aware that they were trolls and bots and disinformation. So now we have to be on the lookout for that. I think the Democratic
Please-
campaigns are going to have to navigate a whole.
Please don't tell me they're gonna start talking about Russia again.
Whole new terrain that we are about to see them navigate as we speak, guys. The debate is about to start. You can see those candidates there.
Oh, yes, they're all lined up.
On the podium. You can watch this on NBC News, on Telemundo.
Do you remember in 2016 whenever Ben Carson was introduced and he just stood there awkwardly, and then Trump came out and he just stood right by him and they were like, hey guys, you can come back up here with the rest of the that was funny. I felt kind of bad for Ben Carson after that, even though, you know, he's like, what about Oreos?
To our team in Miami, and we hope that you enjoy
Poor
watching
Ben.
this debate
Poor
as
brain
much
surgeon
as
Ben.
we will. See you soon.
It's my Facebook. The screen is bright.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lester Holt, and welcome to the first Democratic debate in the
There we go.
2020 race for president.
Hi, I'm Savannah Guthrie. Tonight, it's our first chance to see these candidates go head-to-head.
All right, finally getting somewhere.
Joined in our questioning tonight by our colleagues, Jose Diaz-Balart, Chuck Todd, and Rachel Maddow.
Chuck Todd, Rachel Maddow. I don't know the other people, but it's like
And which of these presidential hopefuls
Chuck Todd is like,
Now, it's time to find out.
it's like human oatmeal.
Round 1. New Jersey Senator Cory Booker.
Yeah, oh, how did I forget Cory Booker?
Castro. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio.
I have no idea how de Blasio made it into the race. John Delaney, don't know who that is.
Congresswoman
Tulsi Gabbard, Hawaii. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. I know who all these people are, but it's like, I don't care.
Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar, former Texas Congressman Beto O'Rourke, Ohio Congressman Tim Ryan, and Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Okay, let's get into this.
Decision 2020, the Democratic candidates debate.
Jeez, look at all those damn people. You got 20 people. Holy crap.
Center in Miami, Florida.
Thoughts on Sonic, Crash Bandicoot, blah blah blah. Yeah, all good, probably. Mega Man's great, Crash is great, Sonic's okay, Rise Star, don't know what that is. Okay, back to this. About to start. I forgot how to unblock people on Facebook. I'll do it on desktop. I'll unblock Marco later. Caden says hi. Do you like Bissell Heavy Duty? I did like it, but it was way too heavy, and I didn't like it. I don't like heavy vacuums. The economy.
And some quick rules of the road before we begin. 20 candidates qualified for this first debate.
Oh my god.
We'll hear from
20.
10 more tomorrow.
10 plus 10 is 20.
Selected at random. The candidates will have
At least Democrats know how to count. That's good.
and 30 seconds for any follow-ups.
Because of this large field, not every person will be able to comment on every topic, but over the course of the next 2 hours...
I believe this is the largest field that we've ever seen. I believe the Republican primary in 2016 was, what, 16 people? I'm going off the top of my head, so that could be wrong, but I thought it was 16. Something like that. And that was all of them, so now we have 20. Which ones? Oh, Warren.
Free childcare, government health care, cancellation of student debt, new taxes, new regulations, the breakup of major corporations. But this comes at a time when 71% of Americans say the economy is doing well, including 60%
Wait, what?
of Democrats. What do you say to those who worry that
What?
significant
The economy's doing well? By what metric? Oh, the stock market?
Think of it this way.
Where did they get that poll from?
Really working for? It's doing great for a thinner and thinner slice at the top.
There you go. There you go, Liz.
For giant drug companies. This is not doing great for people who are trying to get a prescription filled. It's doing great for people who
Today at work, there was literally someone who bought their medication, a small bag of their medication, like this big, the size of this bottle, and I saw the price tag, $1,582.
want to drill everywhere. Just not for the rest of us
Really?
who are watching
That's okay?
change bear down upon us. When you've got a government, when you've got an economy that does great for those with money and isn't doing great for everyone else, that is corruption.
Look at Beto, just
pure
like
and simple,
moving
we need
his-
to call it
yeah.
out. We need to attack it head on, and we need to make structural change in our government, in our economy, and in our country.
You know what? I think that was all right. Yeah, that was pretty good.
Something you might do if you were, quote, a magic genie. To be blunt,
Ugh,
are the
frickin' hate
government
Klobuchar.
programs and benefits that some of your rivals are offering giving your voters, people, a false sense of what's actually achievable?
Well, first, the economy. We know that not everyone is sharing in this prosperity, and Donald Trump just sits in the White House and gloats about what's going on when you have so many people that are having trouble affording college and having trouble affording their premiums. So I do get concerned about paying for college for rich kids. I do. But I think my plan is a good one, and my plan would be to, first of all, make community college free.
How?
And make sure that everyone else besides that top percentile gets help with their education. My own dad
Okay.
and my sister got their first degrees with community college. There's many paths to success.
Okay,
as
so
well as certifications.
I don't agree with free college.
I doubled them from 6,000 to 12,000.
I don't agree with free college, but I will help you get free college.
Families that get covered to families that make
Which is it?
$100,000. And then the third thing I would do
Personally?
is make it easier for students to pay off their student loans.
Okay.
Because
How?
I can tell you this, if billionaires can pay off their yachts, students should be able to pay off their student loans.
That's time, thank you. Congressman O'Rourke.
Okay, I have to admit that actually was that was an okay answer. That was pretty good.
How much fundamental change to the economy is desirable and how much is actually doable. In that vein, some Democrats want a marginal individual tax rate of 70% on the very highest earners, those making more than $10 million a year.
That's
Would you
Ocasio-Cortez's
support that?
top marginal
And if
tax
not,
rate.
What would your top individual rate be?
This economy has got to work for everyone. And right now, we know that it isn't. And it's going to take all of us coming together to
Okay.
make sure that it does.
To make sure that it does.
Cada persona en el éxito de esta economía. Pero si queremos hacer eso, Necesitamos incluir cada persona en nuestra democracia.
Why is he speaking Spanish? Look at Cory Booker. Look at Cory Booker. He's just giving him like the... Oh my god, that was hilarious. Just that look on Booker's face. He was just like, what? What are you doing? Oh, that was amazing. Booker looks just so awkward.
In this country at a time of historic wealth inequality. A new democracy that is revived because we return power to the people, no PACs, no gerrymandering, automatic and same-day voter registration to bring in more voters, and a new Voting Rights Act to get rid of the barriers that are in place now. That's how we each have a voice in our democracy and make this economy work for everyone.
That's time, sir. I'll give you 10 seconds to answer if you want to answer the direct question. Would you support a 70% individual marginal tax rate? Yes, no, or pass?
I would support a tax rate and a tax code that is fair to everyone. Tax capital.
Okay, what is that rate? What is that rate? You didn't answer the question, Beto.
Tax rate up to 28%. You would generate the revenues.
Okay, you said a lot of things, but you didn't actually say anything. You said big words, but you didn't actually say anything. You didn't answer the question. I really appreciate NBC News for actually drilling to get to the actual question and making sure they answer the question. That is one thing they just did that I actually am glad they did.
Without any kind of process. Why do you disagree?
I don't think I disagree. I think we have a serious problem in our country with corporate consolidation. You see the evidence of that in how dignity is being stripped from labor. And we have people that work full-time jobs and still can't make a living wage. We see that because consumer prices are being raised by pharmaceutical companies that often have monopolistic holds on drugs. And you see that by just...
Wages have been stagnant since the 1980s. If adjusting for inflation, minimum wage should be $14 to $15 an hour now. So yeah, $7.50 is a joke. It's disgusting. And it should never have gotten to that point.
You need to check the corporate consolidation and let the free market work. And I'll tell you this. I live in a low-income black and brown community. I see every single day that this economy is not working for average Americans. The indicators that are being used from GDP to Wall Street's rankings is not helping people in my community. It is about time that we have an economy that works for everybody, not just the wealthiest in our nation.
But quickly, Senator Booker, you did say that you didn't think it was right to name names, to name companies and single them out, as Senator Warren has. Briefly, why is that?
Well, again, I will single out companies like Halliburton or Amazon that pay nothing in taxes and are need to change that. And when it comes to antitrust law, what I will do is, number one, appoint judges that will enforce it. Number two, have a DOJ and a Federal Trade Commission that will go through the processes necessary to check this kind of corporate concentration. At the end of the day, we have too much of a problem with corporate power growing. We see that with everything from Citizens United and the way they're trying to influence Washington. It's about time that we have a president that fights for the people in this country.
That's time,
we
sir.
need to have someone that's a champion for them.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Warren, I mentioned you. Are you picking winners and losers?
So the way I understand this is there is way too much consolidation now in giant industries in this country. That hurts workers, it hurts small businesses, it hurts independent farmers, it hurts our economy overall, and it helps constrict real innovation and growth in this economy. Now look, we've had the laws out there for a long time to be able to fight back. What's been missing is courage. Courage in Washington to take on the giants. That's part of the corruption in this system. It has been far too long that the monopolies have been making the campaign contributions, have been funding the super PACs, have been out there making sure that their influence is heard and felt in every single decision that gets made in Washington. Where I want to start this is I want to return government to the people, and that means calling out the names of the monopolists and saying I have the courage to go after them.
Thank you.
That's an even better answer. I haven't even heard this dude's voice before. I don't know what he sounds like. Let's see what he sounds like.
Are paid fairly in this country.
Thank you very much for that question, Lester. You know, I grew up with a mother who raised my brother Joaquin and me as a single parent. And I know what it's like to struggle. I know what it's like.
He's Hillary again. Yep. Boom. You're done.
And to worry about whether you're going to be able to pay the rent at the first of the month, and to see a mom work very, very hard and know that moms across this country are getting paid less.
You know what? Maybe I judged him too fair. Let's see what he's going to say.
Starting with something we should have done a long time ago, which is to pass the Equal Rights Amendment. Finally, in this country. And also pursue
We still don't have that yet.
that women are paid equal pay for equal work in this country. It's past time that we did that. And, you know, we have to do this. If we want to be the most prosperous nation in the 21st century, we need to make sure that women are paid what they deserve.
All right, thank you. I want to put the same question to Congresswoman Gabbard. Your thoughts on equal pay?
There she is.
First of all,
There's my girl.
Recognize the situation we're in. That the American people deserve a president who will put your interests ahead of the rich and powerful. That's not what we have right now. I enlisted in the Army National Guard after the Al-Qaeda terror attacks on 9/11, so I could go after those who had attacked us on that day. I still serve as a major, served over 16 years, deployed twice to the Middle East, and in Congress served on the Foreign Affairs and Armed Services Committees for over 6 years. I know the importance of our national security, as well as the terribly high cost of war. And for too long, our leaders have failed us, taking us from one regime change war to the next, leading us into a new Cold War and arms race, costing us trillions of our hard-earned taxpayer dollars.
Exactly.
Countless lives.
This is what I've been saying since the beginning.
As president, I will take your hard-earned taxpayer dollars. And
This was the issue that led people to vote for Trump over Clinton, because Clinton was more of a hawk on foreign policy. Trump was more of a populist and anti-interventionist on foreign policy than Clinton was. And that's why people defended Trump. That was the big issue for a lot of people. And yet now that he's in power, we are in war in many different countries, at least 8 different countries. And we're also staging a coup in both Iran and Venezuela.
We've been addressing income inequality in New York City by raising wages, by raising benefits, by putting money back in the hands of working people. $15 minimum wage, paid sick days, pre-K for all, things that are making a huge difference in working people's lives. But let me tell you, what we're hearing here already in the first round of questions is that battle for the heart and soul of our party. I want to make it clear. This is supposed to be the party of working people. Yes, we're supposed to be for a 70% tax rate on the wealthy. Yes, we're supposed to be for free college, free public college for our young people. We are supposed to break up big corporations when they're not serving our democracy. This Democratic Party has to be strong and bold and progressive. And in New York, we've proven that we can do something very different. We can put money back in the hands of working people. And let me tell you, every time you talk about investing in people and their communities, you hear folks say there's not enough money. What I say to them every single time is there's plenty of money in this world. There's plenty of money in this country. It's just in the wrong hands. You Democrats have to fix that.
Exactly.
I think we need to do real things to help American workers.
He looks like Biden.
Right, this is the issue.
He literally looks like Biden. He looks like Biden if he lost some of his hair.
And I've called for a doubling of the earned income tax credit, raising the minimum wage, and creating paid family leave. That will create a situation where people actually have a living wage. That gets right to workers. Then we got to fix our public education system. It's not delivering the results our kids need, nor is college and post-high school career and technical training programs doing that. You know, I'm very different than everyone else here on the stage. Prior to being in Congress, I was an entrepreneur. I started 2 businesses. I created thousands of jobs. I spent my whole career helping small to mid-sized businesses all over the country. 5,000 of them I supported. The Obama administration gave me an award for lending to disadvantaged communities. I know how to create jobs. We need a short-term strategy, which is put money in the pockets of workers with the earned income tax credit, raising the minimum wage and creating paid family leave. And then we need to have a long-term strategy to make sure this country is competitive and we're creating jobs everywhere in this country.
Governor Inslee, how would you address income inequality?
Well, I'm a little bit surprised. I think plans are great, but I'm a governor. And we got to realize the people who brought us the weekend, unions, are going to bring us a long overdue raise in America. And I'm proud of standing up for unions. I've got a plan to reinvigorate collective bargaining so we can increase wages finally. I marched with the SEIU folks. It is not right that the CEO of McDonald's makes 2,100 times more than the people slinging hash at McDonald's. And the next thing I'll do is put people to work in the jobs of the present and the future. Look at Donald Trump is simply wrong. He says wind turbines cause cancer. We know they cause jobs. And we know that we can put millions of people...
I forgot about that. I forgot about that. When he said that they cause cancer, I completely forgot about that. That was so bizarre.
And then we can do what America always does. Lead the world and invent the future and put people to work. That's what we're going to do.
Man. I have to admit, there's a lot more of these candidates are actually giving better answers than I thought they would. Who is this guy?
Can you make that same promise?
Yes, I believe you can.
Is this Moulton? Seth Moulton?
He said, don't sell your house to people in Youngstown.
Or is this Tim? Oh, Tim Ryan. Okay.
Just in the last 2 years, we lost
I don't know how this guy made it.
4,000 jobs at a General Motors facility that rippled throughout our community. General Motors got a tax cut. General Motors got a bailout. And then they have the audacity to move a new car that they're going to produce to Mexico. I've had family members that have to unbolt a machine from the factory floor, put it in a box, and ship it to China. My area where I come from in Northeast Ohio, this issue we're talking about here, it's been going on 40 years. This is not a new phenomenon in the United States of America. The bottom 60% haven't seen a raise since 1980. Meanwhile, the top
There you go. That's the exact point that I just made.
We need an industrial policy saying we're going to dominate building electric vehicles. There's going to be 30 million made in the next 10 years. I want half of them made in the United States. I want to dominate the solar industry and manufacture those here in the United States.
Senator Warren, are they coming back? Are these jobs coming back?
So we've had an industrial policy in the United States for decades now, and it's basically been let giant corporations do whatever they want to do. Giant corporations have exactly one loyalty, and that is to profits. And if they can save a nickel by moving a job to Mexico or to Asia or to Canada, they're going to do it. So here's what I propose for an industrial policy. Start with a place where there's a real need. There's going to be a worldwide need for green technology, ways to clean up the air, ways to clean up the water. And we can be the ones to provide that. We need to go tenfold in our research and development on green energy going forward. And then we need to say, any corporation can come and use that research. They can make all kinds of products from it, but they have to be manufactured right here in the United States of America. And then we have to double down and sell it around the world. There's a $23 trillion market coming for green products. We should be the leaders and the owners, and we should have that 1.2 million manufacturing jobs here in America. We can do this.
All right, we're going to turn to the issue of health.
Oh, I just noticed their podiums light up whenever they're supposed to speak. That's kind of cool.
Many people watching at home have health insurance coverage through their employer. Who here would abolish their private health insurance in favor of a government-run plan? Just a show of hands. Start out with. All right, well, Senator Klobuchar, let me put the question to you. You're one of the Democrats who wants to keep private insurance in addition to a government health care plan. Why is an incremental approach, in your view, better than a sweeping overall?
Well, I think it's a bold approach. It's something that Barack Obama wanted to do when we were working on the Affordable Care Act, and that is a public option. I am just simply concerned.
Public option, not good enough.
Half of America off of their health
I used to be of the mindset where some people actually told me, like, oh, well, what if we actually had true free market healthcare? Or what if we just had a public option? And I've done a lot of extensive research on those options, and they don't work, period. They don't work. Our system does not work, period.
Instead, 2,500 drugs have gone up in double digits since he came into office. Instead, he gave $100 billion in giveaways to the pharma companies. For the rest of us, for the rest of America, that's what we call at home, all foam and no beer. We got nothing out of it. And so my proposal is to do something about
It's a good saying.
pharma, to take them on, to allow negotiation under Medicare, to bring in less expensive drugs from other countries. And pharma thinks they own Washington. Well, they don't own me.
Your time is up. Thank you. Senator Warren, you signed on to Bernie Sanders' Medicare for All plan. It would put essentially everybody on Medicare and then eliminate private plans that offer similar coverage. Is that the plan or path that you would pursue as president?
First off, he actually didn't actually get that correct. Medicare for All does not abolish private insurance. You can still get private insurance on top of the government system if you want.
And that's not just for people who don't have insurance. It's for
So if you actually do like having private insurance, which I don't know anyone who does, but if you do, then you can still keep your private insurance. And you can still use private insurance if you really want it.
that leaves families
If you have the money and you want to expedite whatever little bit of process, you know,
to try to get the health care that their doctors
actually
say
no,
that they
scratch that. I almost said it. That actually sounded really stupid.
Medicare for all solves that problem. And I understand there are a lot of politicians who say, oh, it's just not possible, we just can't do it, it's have a lot of political reasons for this. What they're really telling you is they just won't fight for it. Well, healthcare is a basic human right, and I will fight for basic human rights.
Congressman O'Rourke, when you ran for Senate, you also praised a bill that would replace private insurance. This year you're saying you're no longer sure. Can you explain why?
My goal is to ensure that every American is well enough to live to their full potential because they have health care.
How?
In Laredo, Texas, I met a young man, 27 years old, told me that he'd been to a doctor once in his life. And on that visit, he was told he had diabetes, he was told he had glaucoma, and he was told untreated because he doesn't have health care, he'll be dead before the age of 40. So getting to guarantee high-quality, universal health care as quickly and surely as possible has to be our goal. The ability to afford your prescriptions and go to a primary care provider. The ability to see a mental health care provider. In Texas,
I just
the
broke this
single
S pen.
largest provider of mental health care services is
trying
the
to find
county
the
jail
spring. I
system
can't seem to find
today.
it.
And healthcare also has to mean that
There's a
every
spring.
woman can make her own decisions about her own body and has access to the care that makes that possible. Our plan says that if you're uninsured, we enroll you in Medicare. If you're insufficiently insured, you can't afford your premiums, we enroll you in Medicare. But if you're a member of a union that negotiated for a health care plan that you like because it works for you and your family, you're able to keep it. We preserve choice by making sure that everybody has
Time is up,
Okay,
Congressman,
yeah.
but I do want to ask a follow-up on this one. Just to be very clear, I'll give you 10 seconds. Would you replace private insurance?
No, I think the choice is fundamental to our ability to get everyone care.
Private insurance is not working for tens of millions of Americans. When you talk about the co-pays, the deductibles, the premiums, the out-of-pocket expenses, it's not working.
That's right. So for those that's not working, they can choose Medicare. For the cautionary workers in the
By acknowledging the negotiators are not working for people,
they're able to keep them.
Why are the American insurance say they like their private health insurance, by the way? It should be noted that 100 million Americans, I mean, I think we should be the party that keeps what's working and fixes what's broken. I mean, doesn't that make sense? I mean, we should give everyone in this country health care as a basic human right for free. Full stop. But we should also give them the option to buy private insurance. Why do we have to stand for taking away something from people? And also, it's bad policy. If you go to every hospital in this country and you ask them one question, which is how would it have been for you last year if every one of your bills were paid at the Medicare rate? Every single hospital administrator said they would close. And the Medicare for All bill requires payments to stay at current Medicare rates. So to some extent, we're basically supporting a bill that will have every hospital closed. I mean, my dad was a union electrician.
I don't really know how much I buy into that, considering the fact that the majority of doctors and nurses who have been polled would actually prefer a single-payer Medicare for all system.
From a policy perspective, he'd look at me and he'd say, "Good job, John, for getting health care for every American." Well, why are you taking my health care?
Let this play out a little bit because I'm fascinated to hear the daylight between you. Congressman Gabbard, weigh in here.
I think we're talking about this in the wrong way. You're talking about one bill over another bill. Really what we're talking about is our objective, making sure that every single sick American in this country is able to get the health care that they need. I believe Medicare for All is the way to do that. I also think that employers will recognize how much money will be saved by supporting a Medicare for All program, a program that will reduce the administrative costs, reduce the bureaucratic costs, and make sure that everyone gets that.
That's one thing that people don't understand when they don't think about this, is that your job has to pay for your health care. It is by definition good business to have that system, because you as an employer do not have to worry about paying for the healthcare, the absorbent healthcare costs of each one of your employees.
The care that they need, regardless of how much or little money they have in their pocket.
Congresswoman, thanks. Let me turn to Senator Booker on this. Senator Booker, explain to me where you are. This is hugely important to people, so tell us where you are.
I absolutely will. First of all, we're talking about this as a healthcare issue, but in communities like mine, low-income communities, it's an education issue because kids who don't have healthcare are not going to succeed in school. It is an issue for jobs and employment because people who do not have good healthcare do not succeed at work. It's even a retirement issue because in my community, African Americans have a lower life expectancy because of poorer healthcare. And so where I stand is very clear. Healthcare is not just a human right, it should be an American right. And I believe the best way to get there is Medicare for all. But I have an urgency about this. When I am president of the United States, I'm not going to wait. We have to do the things immediately that are going to provide better care. And on this debate, I'm sorry. There are too many people profiteering off of the pain of people in America, from pharmaceutical companies to insurers. Literally, the overhead for insurers that they charge is 15%, while Medicare's overhead is only at 2%. We can do this better, and every single day I will be fighting to give people more access at more affordable costs until we get to my goal, which is every American having health care.
I want to move back, if I can, Congresswoman Gabbard.
And that is that the insurance companies last year alone sucked $23 billion in profits out of the healthcare system. $23 billion, and that doesn't count the money that was paid to executives, the money that was spent lobbying Washington. We have a giant industry that wants our healthcare system to stay the way it is. Because it's not working for families, but it sure is heck working for them.
Oh no, she said heck. That's a bad word.
It should not be an option in the United States of America for any insurance company to deny women coverage for their exercise of their right of choice. And I am the only candidate here who has passed a law protecting a woman's right of reproductive health and health insurance. And I'm the only candidate who has passed a public option. And I respect everybody's goals and plans here. But we do have one candidate that's actually advanced the ball. And we got to have access for everyone. I've done it in public option.
I just want to say there's 3 women up here that have fought pretty hard for a woman's right to choose. So I'll start with that.
Encoding overloaded. Dropped frames. Oh no. How dare I click on another web page?
And the idea I put out there, the public option, which the governor was just talking about, this idea is that you use Medicare or Medicaid without any insurance companies involved. You can do it either way. And the estimates are 13 million people would see a reduction in their premiums, 12 more million people would get covered. So I think it is a beginning and the way you start and the way you move to universal health care.
Secretary Castro, this one is for you. All of you on stage support a woman's right to an abortion. You all support some version of a government health care option. Would your plan cover abortion, Mr. Secretary?
Yes, it would. I don't believe only in reproductive freedom. I believe in reproductive justice. And what that means is that just because a woman, or let's also not forget someone in the trans community, a trans female, is poor, doesn't mean they shouldn't have the right to exercise that right to choose. And so I absolutely would cover the right to have an abortion. More than that, everybody in this crowd and watching at home knows that in our country today, a person's right to choose is under assault in places like Missouri, in Alabama, in Georgia. I would appoint judges to the federal bench that understand the precedent of Roe v. Wade and will respect it.
Yes.
And in addition to that, make sure that we fight.
I can't believe this is still a debate. Roe v. Wade settled this years ago. Years ago. And it got it right, surprisingly. Despite it being that long ago, it actually got it right.
That every woman has access to the full range of reproductive health care services, and that includes birth control, it includes abortion.
Yes, that's a very big point, because people get so fed up about the abortion argument, but they completely miss the fact that birth control and different other ways, like when people hear reproductive health, they think abortion. But birth control, sex education are very important.
Right up to the edge of taking away protection.
Time is up, Senator.
We now have an America where most people support Roe versus Wade. We need to make that federal law.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Senator Booker, I want to kind of come back on a discussion we were
Because
having about
I don't know why, if you're against abortion, you wouldn't support legislation that would prevent people needing to get them in the first place.
companies are based.
It's just basic logic. Would you rather stop the thing from happening, or prevent the problem that leads to the thing that you don't like?
They should absolutely be held criminally liable.
I'm not even giving my own opinion on that. I'm just saying
Responsible.
that's what would make sense. Try to prevent it in the first place.
I said I would not take contributions from pharma companies, not take contributions from corporate PACs or pharma executives, because they are part of this problem. And this opioid addiction in our country, we in cities like mine have been seeing how we've tried to wrest our way out of addiction for too long. It is time that we have a national urgency to deal
Yes,
with
I
this
am
problem
reading the chat, just not that often, because I'm obviously focusing on the debate. But I am still reading the chat.
and make the pharmaceutical companies that are responsible help to pay for that.
Congressman O'Rourke, how would you deal?
Tonight in this country, you have
2.3 million fellow Americans.
It's the largest prison population.
On the face of this planet.
For nonviolent drug crimes, including possession of marijuana, at a time that more than half the states have legalized it or decriminalized it. And yet, despite what Purdue Pharma has done, their connection to the opioid crisis and the overdose deaths that we're seeing throughout this country, they've been able to act with complete impunity and pay no consequences, not a single night in jail. Unless there's accountability and justice, this crisis will continue. In my administration, we will hold them to account. We will make sure that they pay a price, and we will help those who've been victims of this malfeasance in this country, get them treatment and long-term care.
I know immigration is on a lot of your minds here, and I want to talk about it. We're going to talk about it in a moment. We need to take a break. We'll be back with more from Miami.
Oh, yay. So that one chick that said Klobuchar will be doing well. She's far from the best. Okay, ads. Here we go. Oh, I clicked on it at the perfect time. Yeah, there we go. Back into it.
I want to turn to an issue that has been in the news, especially this week. There are undocumented children being held alone in detention, even as close as Homestead, Florida, right here, less than 30 miles from where we are tonight. Fathers and mothers and children are dying while trying to enter the United States of America. We saw that image today that broke our hearts, and they had names. Oscar Martinez and his 23-month-old daughter Valeria died trying to cross the river to ask for asylum in this country. Last month, more than 130,000 migrants were apprehended at the southern border. Secretary Castro, if you were president today, hoy, what would you specifically do?
Thank you very much, Jose. I'm very proud that in April I became the first candidate to put forward a comprehensive immigration plan. And we saw those images, watching that image of Oscar and his daughter Valeria is heartbreaking. It should also piss us all off.
Oh no, he said the bad word. He said the B word. Oh no, he said the B word. That's so bad.
If I were president today, I would sign an executive order that would get rid of Trump's zero tolerance policy, the Remain in Mexico policy, and the metering policy. This metering policy is basically what prompted Oscar and Valeria to make that risky swim across the river. They have been playing games with people who are coming and trying to seek asylum at our ports of entry. Oscar and Valeria went to a port of entry, and then they were denied the ability to make an asylum claim. So they got frustrated, and they tried to cross the river, and they died because of that.
On day one, sorry.
On day one, I would do that executive order that would address metering, and then I would follow that up in my first 100 days with immigration reform that would honor asylum claims, that would put undocumented immigrants, as long as they haven't committed a serious crime, on a pathway to citizenship, and that would go to the root cause of the issue, which is we need a Marshall Plan for Honduras and Guatemala and El Salvador, so that people can find safety and opportunity at home instead of coming to the United States to seek it.
Senator Booker, what would you do on day one? And this is a situation that the next president will inherit.
La situación ahora es inaceptable. Este presidente ha atacado, ha demonizado los inmigrantes. Es
Okay, I thought Booker was looking at the other person. I already forgot who it was. Weird, because they were speaking language, but now he's speaking a different language. So I guess he was just like amazed that someone else also spoke Spanish. That's my guess.
I will make sure that we reinstate DACA, that we reinstate pathways to citizenship for DACA recipients, and to make sure that people that are here on temporary protected status can stay and remain here. And then finally, we need to make sure that we address the issues that made Oscar and Valeria come in the first place by making major investments in the Northern Triangle, not like this president is doing, by ripping away the resources we need to actually solve this problem. We cannot surrender our values and think that we're going to get border security. We actually will lose security and our values. We must fight for both.
If I might, very briefly, and this is an important point, my plan, and I'm glad to see that Senator Booker, Senator Warren, and Governor Inslee agree with me on this. My plan also includes getting rid of Section 1325 of the Immigration and Nationality Act, to go back to the way we used to treat this when somebody comes across the border, not to criminalize desperation, to treat that as a civil violation. And here's why it's important. We see all of this horrendous family separation. They use that law, Section 1325, to justify under the law separating little children from their families. And so I want to challenge every single candidate on this stage to support the repeal of Section 1325. 30 seconds.
As my friend here said, I agree with him on that issue, but folks should understand that the separation of children from families doesn't just go on at our border. It happens in our communities as ICE are ripping away parents from their American children, spouses and the like, and are creating fear in cities all across this country where parents are afraid to even drop their kids off to school or go to work. We must end those policies as well.
Discussion about immigration in this country, because look at the bottom line here. That tragic photo of that parent, that child, and I'm saying this as a father. Every American should feel that in their heart. Every American should say that is not America. Those are not our values. But we have to get under the skin of why we have this crisis in our system, because we're not being honest about the division that's been fomented in this country. The way that American citizens have been told that immigrants somehow created their misery and their pain and their challenges. For all the American citizens out there who feel you're falling behind, who feel the American dream's not working for you, the immigrants didn't do that to you. The big corporations did that to you. The 1% did that to you. We need to be the party of working people, and that includes a party of immigrants. But first, we have to tell working people in America who are hurting that we're going to be on their side every single time against those big corporations who created this mess to begin with. And remind people we're all in this together. If we don't change that debate, that politics that's holding us back, we won't get all these reforms people are talking about. That's what we need to do as Democrats.
Congresista, if I could, I'm sorry. Congresista O'Rourke, ¿qué haría usted en el primer día si usted es presidente sobre esta realidad que está?
I just remember this is also on Telemundo, so that's why they're speaking Spanish. Oh my god, why did I just now figure that out? Why did I just now remember that? Sometimes I'm really dumb. Just being honest.
We would not turn back Valeria and her father Oscar. We would accept them into this country and follow our own asylum laws. We would not build.
So do I have to speak Spanish when I run for president? Because I can't speak Spanish. Not all that well, at least. So do I have to speak Spanish if I want to run for president? Because I'm running for president in 2036. Probably. It's kind of a joke, but it's also kind of not.
We would not detain any family fleeing violence, in fact, fleeing the deadliest countries on the face of the planet today. We would implement a family case management program so they could be cared for in the community at a fraction of the cost. And then we would rewrite our immigration laws in our own image. Free dreamers forever from any fear of deportation by making them U.S. citizens here in this country. Invest in solutions in Central America, work with regional stakeholders so there's no reason to make that 2,000-mile journey to this country.
Secretary, I'll give you 30 seconds.
Let's be very clear. The reason that they're separating these little children from their families is that they're using Section 1325 of that act, which criminalizes coming across the border, to incarcerate the parents and then separate them. Some of us on this stage have called to end that section, to terminate it. Some, like Congressman O'Rourke, have not. And I want to challenge all of the candidates.
I like how he's calling people out by name. Like that. That is one thing I like about Julian.
That if you truly want to change the system, then we got to repeal that section. If not, then it might as well be the same policy.
Let me respond to this very briefly. Actually, as a member of Congress, I helped to introduce legislation that would ensure that we don't criminalize those who are seeking asylum and refuge in this country. If you're fleeing desperation, then I want to make sure that you're treated with respect.
I'm still talking about everybody else.
But you're looking at just one small part of this. I'm talking about a comprehensive rewrite of our immigration laws.
He's just like, what? No.
I'm talking about millions of folks.
Beto the beta. Which I've never even used that insult. I wouldn't refer to Beto as beta because I think beta is a really stupid insult. And I think the whole beta alpha thing is just way overblown and honestly kind of stupid. Or if you watch secular talk, you know, bet on my stork. Bet on my stork, yeah.
Title 21 and Title 22 already cover human trafficking. I think that you should do your homework on this issue. If you did your homework on this issue, you would know that we should.
Who's the guy standing all the way to the left? All the way to the left. I believe that's Mayor Bill de Blasio. And the first YouTuber president, yes. Also, I do not play Fortnite. I've never played Fortnite. I don't know what Fortnite is. That's obviously I know what Fortnite is. Obviously, I'm just joking, but I don't care.
Let's continue the discussion. Senator Klobuchar,
Klobuchar. Is it Klobuchar or Klobuchar? Cloud boot jar.
no longer have it be a crime to illegally cross the border. Do you support that? Do you think it should be a civil offense only? And if so, do you worry about potentially incentivizing?
It already is a civil offense. It's only a misdemeanor. People forget that it's a misdemeanor to cross the border illegally. The people, and I've had conversations with people about this. If you believe that you should be locked up for crossing the border, then you must believe that you need to be locked up for jaywalking. Period. Otherwise, you don't understand what the law says regarding illegal immigration. And that's completely ignoring asylum seekers, which is a completely different story.
70 of our Fortune 500 companies are headed up by people that came from other countries. 25% of our U.S. Nobel laureates were born in other countries. We have a situation right now where we need workers in our fields and in our factories. We need them to start small businesses. We need their ideas. And this president has literally gone backwards at a time where our economy needs immigrants. And so my proposal is to look at that 2013 bill that passed the Senate with Republican support, to upgrade that bill, to make it as good as possible and get it done. It brings the debt down by $158 billion. It gives a path to citizenship for people who can become citizens. And it would be so much better for our economy in America.
That's time. Thank you. Congressman Ryan, same question. Should it be a crime to illegally cross the border, or should it be a civil offense only?
Well, I agree with Secretary Castro. I think there are other provisions in the law that will allow you to prosecute people for coming over here if they're dealing in drugs and other things. That's already established in the law. So there's no need to repeat it. And I think it's abhorrent. We're talking about this father who got killed with his daughter. And the issues here, the way these kids are being treated, if you go to Guantanamo Bay, there are terrorists that are held, they get better health care than those kids that have tried to cross the border in the United States. That needs to stop. And I think the president...
That's a great point. I haven't... Somehow that hasn't even crossed my mind, at least not recently. That's crazy.
What kind of country are we running here where we have a president of the United States who's so focused on hate and fear and division? And what has happened now, the end result, is now we've got kids literally laying in their own snot with 3-week-old diapers that haven't been changed. We've got to tell this president, that is not a sign of strength, Mr. President. That is a sign of weakness.
Senator Booker, I'll go to you. But no, a lot of people, Jose asked the question, if you're president on day one, what will you do with the fact that you will have families here? There's been a lot of talk about what you'll do in the first 100 days, about legislation. What will you actually do with these families? How will you care for them? Will they be detained or will they not be?
Well, this is a related and brief point, because what we're talking about, what Secretary Castro and I are talking about, is that we have the power to better deal with this problem through the civil process. largest private prisons, which are repugnant to me, that people are profiting off of incarceration, and their immigration lockups. Our country has made so many mistakes by criminalizing things, whether it's immigration, whether it's mental illness, whether it's addiction. We know that this is not the way to deal with problems. There is a humane way that affirms human rights and human dignity and actually solve this problem. Donald Trump isn't solving this problem. We've seen under his leadership.
Wyatt, to address your question, the reason why Arcade Machines 15's Launch 360 has NXE is because if you put in discs, game discs that were made after the NXE was released, it will automatically install the update to the dashboard. That's why if you have a Blade 360, you should not play any games on it unless you put in crap like Perfect Dark Zero, because otherwise, if you put the disc in, it will just immediately update it, like just right then and there. So, and unless you pull the power to it, you're not gonna stop it, and even then, you could probably end up breaking it. So, you know, that's why a lot of times they're updated, even if they weren't online, because they put updates on the discs. So yeah, that's to answer your question. That's why his 360 has NXE when ours has blades.
That's what should happen.
I'm also selling him my Blade 360, by the way, or at least I'm planning on it. I told him about it because I want to get rid of it, and he's like, I don't know, maybe. At least last I checked, I don't remember. That was a little bit ago, so I'll have to talk to him about it.
Donald Trump's heinous Muslim ban. I'm proud to be a person who's not only talked about dreamers, but being one of the first to make sure that they get a college education so that they can realize their dreams. These are some of the most inspirational people in our state. And I'll leave you with this thought if you want to know what I think. Donald Trump the other day tried to threaten me. He thought it was a threat to tell me that he would send refugees in Washington state if we passed the law that I passed. And I told him that's not a threat at all. We welcome refugees into our state. We recognize diversity as a strength. This is how we built America. That tradition is going to continue if I'm president.
We're going to switch to another topic now. We've got a lot to get to. My grandfather was actually separated from his family when he
We're going to talk about Iran right now because we're working against the
Oh God, not Iran.
This drone has been shot down. There have been disturbing threats issued by both the U.S. and Iranian leadership. I'd like you to take just for a moment to put aside how you think we may have gotten here, but what I want to know is how do you dial
turn on my
back?
fan.
So a show of hands, who as president would sign on to the 2015 nuclear deal as it was originally negotiated? That's it. Well, Senator Booker, why not?
May I address that? First and foremost, it was a mistake.
Here's something for the vacuum people to keep them watching.
Hostility now is because Donald Trump is marching us to a far more dangerous situation. Literally, he took
That's going to be yours soon, Caleb.
Transparency into their nuclear program and pushed back a nuclear breakout 10, 20 years. And now we see Iran threatening to go further, and we're being pulled in further and further.
Got so many dang phones.
We need to renegotiate and get back into a deal, but I'm not going to have a primary platform to say unilaterally I'm going to rejoin that deal, because when I'm president of the United States, I'm going to do the best I can to secure this country and that region and make sure that if I have an opportunity to leverage a better deal, I'm going to do it.
All right, Senator Klobuchar, I'd like you to answer that question because you said you would negotiate yourself back into the Iranian agreement. Can you argue that that nuclear pact, as it was ratified, was a good deal?
Yes, it was.
It was imperfect, but it was a good deal for that moment. I would have worked to get longer sunset periods, and that's something we could negotiate to get back in the deal. But the point is, Donald Trump told us when he got out of it that he was going to give us a better deal. Those were his words. And now we are a month away from the Iranians, who claim now that they're going to blow the caps on enriching uranium. And the Iranians have told us this. And so that's where we are right now. He has made us less safe than we were when he became president. So what I would do is negotiate us back into that agreement, is stand with our allies and not give unlimited leverage to China and Russia, which is what he has done. And then, finally, I would make sure that if there is any possibility of a conflict, and we're having this debate in Congress right now, that he comes to Congress for an authorization of military force. I would do that. And this president is literally every single day 10 minutes away from going to war, one tweet away from going to war, and I don't think we should conduct foreign policy in our bathrobe at 5 in the morning.
Congresswoman Gabbard.
Honestly, I was not listening at all to what Klobuchar just said. I'll be honest.
Would you insist, though, that it address Iran's support for Hezbollah?
Let's deal with the situation where we are, where this president and his chicken hawk cabinet have led us to the brink of war with Iran. I served in the war in Iraq at the height of the war in 2005, a war that took over 4,000 of my brothers and sisters in uniforms' lives. The American people need to understand that this war with Iran would be far more devastating, far more costly than anything that we ever saw in Iraq. It would take many more lives. It would exacerbate the refugee crisis. And it wouldn't be just contained within Iran. This would turn into a regional war. This is why it's so important that every one of us, every single American, stand up and say, no war with Iran. We need to get back into the Iran nuclear agreement and
Yes.
negotiate how we can improve it. It was an imperfect deal. There are issues.
Iran was still, even as of just last month, they were still following the Iran nuclear deal because the fact that the UK was still in that deal, despite the fact that we pulled out probably, I think it was 2 years ago, almost, or over 2 years ago. Around 2 years ago, yeah.
Look, obviously, if there was an attack against the American, our troops, then there would have to be a response. But my point is, and it's important for us to recognize this, is Donald Trump and his cabinet, Mike Pompeo, John Bolton, and others, are creating a situation that just a spark would light off a war with Iran, which is incredibly dangerous. That's why we need to de-escalate tensions. Trump needs to get back into the Iran nuclear deal and swallow his pride. Put the American people first.
Hey, but wait. All right, we are out of time, and we're up against a hard break, but we will have much more. Mayor de Blasio will have more. The commercial is coming. We will continue our questions.
Commercial break, commercial break, commercial break.
With some very anxious candidates just ahead.
I know I've got some anxiety. I had a freaking panic attack earlier today at work. So yeah, my chest still hurts because of it. Okay, we got...
All eyes on the 2020 election. Continue to follow the latest on the candidates with the NBC News mobile app. Stay connected.
Ew, no. Just ew, no.
Ceiling for Trump than we've seen with past presidents, but that comes with a flip side, and that is the basement for Trump. Look at this, 37% is the low point he's hit in his average approval rating as president. That is actually not as low as some of his predecessors have gone. We've seen Nixon, Bush Sr., Carter, we saw them fall into the 20s at some point during their term. That has not happened to Trump either. 37 on the low end, 46 on the high end. Right now, somewhere in between. It's a very narrow range. It speaks to polarization. I'll tell you, it speaks to something else. Is this presidency really any different politically in terms of how it's being received than the campaign in 2016? Because compare this trend line, 46-37, low, high. Compare that to Trump's support against Hillary Clinton in the polls in the fall of 2016. Trump's average support at a low point, 36%. At a high point, about 43.5%. Of course, on election day, what was the number he hit? 46%, the same high watermark he's had in his approval rating. So Trump has been operating in the same range as a candidate, as president. We say it speaks to polarization. It also speaks to, look, this isn't somebody who succeeded as a candidate in 2016 despite some very, very high negative numbers. What I mean by that is, look at this, the exit poll on election day. Do you think Donald Trump's qualified to be president? Only 38% said they thought he was qualified for the job. The clear majority said Trump wasn't qualified. Does he have the temperament? 35% said he had the temperament. Do you like him? Do you have a favorable view? Only 40% did. You're not supposed to be able to win with those numbers. Trump was one of the big reasons his opponent, Hillary Clinton, by election day 2016, almost as unpopular as he was, only 43% favorable. It created that narrow path for Trump. And that becomes the question. When you look at that approval rating now, 2020. Can he make his
Cameron. Woo, Cory Booker.
as Clinton was in 16?
Are you being serious? Like, I'm not judging if you are. I'm saying, are you being serious? Because it sounds sarcastic. Yeah, I agree. The old boot up animation, like the... That was way better than the... You probably understand what I'm talking about since I did the whole thing. But yeah. Nobody watches politics. Oh, really? Nobody watches politics? Who watches... Okay, which audience... Which group has a bigger audience? people who follow politics or people who follow vacuum cleaners. Just saying. This one's really echoey. Ew, Chuck Todd. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. Oh, ew. Okay, get them off the screen. Ew. Ugh. Get them off the screen. Ugh. Freaking mad out. Ugh. Russia, 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 Russia. Ugh. Man. That girl was freaking peddling Russia like crazy for years. You better not freaking speak a word about Russia because you were dead wrong about Russia. Trump's a Manchurian candidate. No, it's not. No, he's not. Never was. Especially not for Russia.
Less than 50 miles from Parkland, Florida, where 17 people were killed in a school shooting last year, and where there has been significant...
Okay. Hello, this is Braden D, and me and my friend Jameson Walker wondering why you are not letting our friend get that Power Force you're going to sell him. I'm not letting him buy the Power Force? Since when was that a thing? I just talked to Caleb. He said yes. I gave him the price. He said yes. He said, I will let you know when I can pay for it. I have the box right there. I have the machine right there. I have the label with the price right on it. Why are you refusing to sell the power? Really? Come on. Since when does that make any sense? Yeah, I know you're trying to sell that Power Force. I know you're trying to sell that Power Force to Caleb, but why aren't you letting him buy the Power Force? What? I'm sorry, am I missing something here? Unless you're referring to Jameson constantly getting upset at me and then just for some reason saying that I owed him the Power Force, so I didn't owe him anything, and I'm just like, dude, no, that's not what that was. And he just wasn't listening. And he just kept calling me and was like, stop, stop. So I blocked him. So I'm like, dude, this does not concern you. I'm talking to Caleb. I'm selling him the vacuum. I don't owe him anything. He hasn't given me a single cent. At the time, when you're like, you owe him the Power Force. No, I don't. I can throw that thing in a dumpster if I want to. He hasn't given me a single cent. He said, I want it. I've been holding on to the machine for over a year. And just now, he's like, yeah, I'll buy it. But now, all of a sudden, now that he actually is committed to buying it, now is when I'm apparently not getting it to him. That makes sense. According to him, you weren't letting him pay. He was lying. That was not true. I don't know where Jameson got that from. He never asked me if I wasn't letting him pay. And I never would have said that because it's not true. And besides, even if I said, here's my PayPal, pay me right now. Caleb didn't have the money. He still doesn't have the money. He's getting the money for it. So, and Caleb obviously acknowledges that. Okay. I hate getting involved in drama, but seriously, like, this is so stupid. It's like y'all are so freaking upset over this vacuum. It's not even any of your business. What's this? Well, dude, I can't really support your channel anymore with that. With what? I almost dropped my phone. With what? What did I do? What did I do? I can't support your channel anymore with that. With what? I just explained the whole situation. Do I need to show the messages? Just leave it alone. Yeah. It's like, I mean, you can leave if you want, but I'm just saying, it's like, why? It's like, you said all these things that weren't true, and I just said, wait, hold on. That's not true. Here's what actually happened. And then you're like, oh, I can't support your channel. You're being a dick. I've talked to people who were like that before, and it's really bizarre. It's like, why It's like, you're not asking me any, like, why wouldn't it make sense to be like, hey, Chance, what's going on with this? Wouldn't that make sense? Get my side of the story, considering I'm the one who owns the damn vacuum? Or is this just something where I can't believe I'm even wasting my time with this, and I can't believe this drama is probably going to end up on politics, but you know what, whatever. I'm probably not going to edit this out because it's relevant. So let me go to my messages. Look at this. Just yesterday, it will be 50. That's the cheapest one. Blah, 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 blah. PayPal me the money and I'll ship it the next day after I get off work. PayPal me the money and I'll ship it the next day I get off work. And then he says, okay, when the time comes, it's going to be PayPal. This was yesterday. Yesterday. And again, before, he was like, I want it. And now the only thing I can see as being misconstrued as that is whenever he was going to buy it, but then he also said that he was moving. And so I merely suggested, hey, wouldn't it make sense to buy it after you move, so it's one less thing to worry about, and I can just ship it straight to your new address? And then, you know, it's like a housewarming present or something like that. And he's like, yeah, that works. There was no argument. There was no like, no, I want it now. I'd really prefer to have it now. It wasn't like, oh, too bad. I was just like, hey, wouldn't that make more sense? Because that's what I would do if I was moving. And I was going to buy something, I would send it to my new address. And he's like, yeah. Where's the controversy? Yeah. Again, I'm running on three hours of sleep. So, man, I probably look like a jackass now that I just wasted all that time arguing with kids over a vacuum cleaner. But okay, whatever. Let's get back to politics. See, this is going to be great because whenever I do run for president, someone's just going to take this clip and just play it, and then boom, my campaign is done. It's like, see Mr. Mushinski talk about the problems with the vacuum cleaner. Is this the man you want to elect president? And then everyone's like, no, we don't want to elect this guy president. And then I'm going to lose. Who knows who I'm going to lose to? Maybe Trump Jr. We'll see. I'm sweating like crazy. Ugh. Also, the demo of the 6579-3 is coming up soon. And no date review as well. I hope you voted for Trump. I couldn't vote in 2016, but if I had, I honestly think I probably would have ended up voting for Trump potentially, but knowing what we know now, had the 2016 election happened now, knowing everything that they both have done, I would have voted for Clinton. I don't like her. I fucking hate Hillary, but I also really hate Trump, so I would have probably reluctantly voted for Hillary, even though she rigged the DNC in favor against Bernie Sanders. I would have supported Bernie Sanders all the way through, and he's my number one for this campaign as well.
What's happening? We are hearing our colleagues' audio. If the control room can turn off the mics.
They're having problems. Hi. I hope you would. Yeah, but yeah, I was not old enough in 2016 to vote. Just barely not old enough. I voted in 2018, and I'll be voting in 2020 in the primaries, and in the general, of course. And I will not be voting for Trump. Unless he can somehow turn around everything in the next couple months, which is a tall order, and he's floundered that. Honestly, the government shutdown, over like the wall and all that, and like the funding of it, that was the final nail in the coffin as far as me potentially supporting Trump. Like, that was the straw that broke the camel's back, among so many other things. So, no, knowing now what I know now, I would not have voted for Trump. I will not vote for Trump in 2020.
In 2020, the place to start.
Hey, Gary Johnson.
The last election ended in 2016, and remember, of course, by the popular vote, Hillary Clinton had almost 3 million more of those than Donald Trump. We don't elect the president. By national popular vote, we do it. By the electoral
Why not?
college.
I don't know.
Donald Trump had the right combination of votes in the right states, enough to win 306 electoral.
Keep in mind, Bernie won all of those states in the primaries. Some of those Hillary didn't even touch.
Understand how narrow.
And you wonder why she lost those. And you wonder why she lost those places. I wish she voted for Trump. I couldn't have. I couldn't have voted for Trump.
That margin there, fewer than 25,000 votes separated Clinton from.
Do you want me to vote for Trump in 2020? Because I'm not gonna.
That had not gone for a Republican in a president.
I'm just being honest. If you want to vote for Trump, that's fine.
By a margin of fewer than 25,000 votes, Trump becomes the first in over 3 decades. He gets Wisconsin. The margin in Michigan even closer, barely 10,000 votes. Trump over Clinton, and again, that's the first time since '88 that a Republican carried Michigan. And then there was Pennsylvania here, about 44,000 votes. That's the margin for Trump over Clinton in Pennsylvania. Trump wins all 3 of those states: Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, by a combined total of about 75,000 votes. That's it, but that's enough to win the Electoral College. So for Democrats, if they want to reverse the result of 2016, that is the easiest and most direct path, at least on paper. You flip those states where Trump's margin was the narrowest, those states that had been voting Democratic before 2016, you flip them back, you win the Electoral College, if everything else stays the same. So that's the most direct path for Democrats, at least.
This is lagging like crazy. I don't know why. Maybe, I think it's probably Hillary's face. I think she's hijacking my stream because I'm looking at that disgusting smile. Yeah, Hillary's messing up my stream.
Again, Donald Trump, somewhat of a surprise.
Dropping frames. Get that. Get her off the screen.
Trump pulled out Florida in 2016. 29 electoral votes right there. We obviously expect it to be very competitive in 2020. If the Democrats can flip Florida, just given the size of the state, that is a massive change. The one cautionary note for Democrats, though, they had a big year in the 2018 midterms. It was not big enough to carry over to Florida. In Florida, in the 2018 midterms, a Republican won the governor's race, Republican won the Senate race, ousted a Democratic incumbent, in fact, in that Senate race. So Florida, it's tantalizing on paper for Democrats. It's always tantalizing on paper for Democrats. But does 2018 tell you that maybe there's a little bit more Republican strength there in Florida? And of course, Arizona. This is one Democrats have been talking about now, a long-time red state that Democrats think demographically might be trending in their favor. This is a state Democrats did.
Okay, don't care. I don't care anymore. I already knew all this crap. Blah, 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 blah.
We believe we have the technical difficulties fixed. Never say that. Never say never.
I'm only 10, so when I was born, they had NXT numbers. So you're 10 and you wanted to vote for Trump?
Senator Warren, we're going to get to the gun question here. Parkland, Florida, it's just north of here.
Actually, that's good. Get involved in politics as early as possible. Figure out what your views are. Figure out what makes you passionate about politics. Get involved in it. We need more young people involved in politics. Or just people in general, but especially young people. So yeah, keep going on with it.
The hundreds of millions of guns already out there, and does the federal government have to play a role in dealing with it?
So, in this period of time that I've been running for president, I've had more than 100 town halls. I've taken more than 2,000 unfiltered questions. And the single hardest question I've gotten, I got one from a little boy and I got one from a little girl. And that is to say, when you're president, how are you going to keep us safe? That's our responsibility as adults. 7 children will die today from gun violence, children and teenagers. And they won't just die in mass shootings. They'll die on sidewalks, they'll die
That happened in my school.
backyards. Gun violence.
I haven't mentioned that before, but there was a shooting at my school a couple years ago. It's gonna be coming up on 2 years in just a couple months. Thankfully, I was not in the building at the time, but some of my friends are. One of my friends got shot, but he was doing good after that. He's still doing good to this day. You can laugh about it. So that's an issue that hits home. Very, very, very closely hits home. You really kind of change your opinion. You really kind of change your stance on things whenever you've actually been on the receiving end of a shooting.
A serious research problem, which we have not done. You know, guns in the hands of a collector who who's had them for decades, who's never fired them, who takes safety seriously. That's very different from guns that are sold and turned over quickly. We can't treat this as an across-the-board problem. We have to treat it like a public health emergency. That means bring data to bear, and it means make real change in this country, whether it's politically popular or not.
Senator Booker, you have a program. Senator Booker, you have a federal government buyback program in your plan. How is that going to work?
Well, first of all, I want to say my colleague and I both have been hearing this on the campaign trail. But what's even worse is I hear gunshots in my neighborhood. I think I'm the only one, I hope I'm the only one on this panel here that had 7 people shot in their neighborhood just last week. Someone I knew, Shahad Smith, was killed with an assault rifle at the top of my block last year.
Oh my God.
For millions of Americans, this is not a policy issue. This is an emergency. And for those who have not been directly affected, they're tired of living in a country where their kids go to school to learn about reading, writing, and arithmetic, and how to deal with an active shooter in their school. This is something that I'm tired of, and I'm tired of hearing people, all they have to offer is thoughts and prayers. In my faith,
Yeah. Why do I keep hearing that trash? It's like, thoughts and prayers. It's disgusting.
it is time that we have bold actions and a bold agenda. I will get that.
I'm not going to help you, but I'm going to tell you that I'm thinking about you.
This is personal. Thank you, Senator Booker.
I'm holding my hands in a position and saying that I wish you do better. I'm not going to actually try to help you.
Shooter drills in schools. The school shootings seem like an almost every day or every week occurrence now. They don't make a complete news cycle anymore, no matter the death toll. As parents are so afraid as their kids go off to school that their kids will be caught up in something like this. Next to nothing has changed in federal law that might affect the prevalence of school shootings. Is this a problem that is going to continue to get worse over our lifetimes, or is there something that you would do as president that you really think would turn it around?
Yeah, Rachel, I'm the dad of a 10-year-old girl, Karina, who's here tonight. And the worst thing is knowing that your child might be worried about what could happen at school, a place that's supposed to be safe. The answer to your question is no, we don't have to accept that. And I believe that on January 20th, 2021, at 12:01 p.m., we're going to have a Democratic president, a Democratic House, and a Democratic Senate.
Let's hope so. They don't mess this up.
Activists of Parkland, folks from Moms Demand, who have risen up across the United States and inspired so many people. You know, we may not have seen yet legislative action, but we're getting closer. The House took a vote. In the Senate, the question often is if the decision is between 60 votes, a filibuster, or passing common sense gun reform, I'm going to choose common sense gun reform. So I believe that we're going to be able to get that done in 2021.
Secretary Castro, thank you.
Rachel, I have something to add to this briefly.
We'll give you 30 seconds for follow-up on that question, on that answer from Secretary Castro. Congressman Ryan.
You're talking about in the schools. These kids are traumatized. I support all the gun reforms here. We need to start dealing with the trauma that our kids have. We need trauma-based care in every school. We need social and emotional learning in every school.
Yes.
90% of the shooters who do school shootings come from the school they're in, and 73% of them feel shamed, traumatized, or bullied. We need to make sure that these kids feel connected to the school. That means a mental health counselor in every single school in the United States.
Yes.
We need to start playing offense. If our kids are so traumatized that they're getting a gun and going into our schools, we're doing something wrong too, and we need reform around trauma-based care.
Yeah, that's 100% correct. And I can't believe nobody talks about that.
What do you tell a gun owner who may agree with you on everything else, okay, but says, you know what, the Democrats, if I vote for them in there, they're going to take my gun away, and even though I agree with you on all these other issues, how do you have that conversation?
Here's how we had that conversation in Texas. I shared with them what I learned from those students who survived the Santa Fe High School shooting. A young student named Bree, her friend Marcel, who survived another shooting, the mother of a victim who lost her life, Rhonda Hart. They talked about universal background checks where you close every loophole. We know that they save lives. talks about ending the sales of assault weapons into our communities. Those weapons of war were designed to kill people as effectively and as efficiently as possible. They should belong on the battlefield and not in our communities. Red flag laws, so that if someone poses a danger to themselves or to someone else, they're stopped before it's too late. And what I found in each one of those 254 counties is that Democrats and independents and Republicans, gun owners and non-gun owners alike, agreed. But this effort must be led by the young people that you referenced at the beginning of this issue. Those students from Marjorie Stoneman and Douglas led the charge here in Florida, and they've been able to change those laws. They're making our democracy work, ensuring that our values and our interests and our priorities are reflected in the laws that we pass.
Okay, thank you, Congressman O'Rourke. Hang on. Let me give 30 seconds. Senator Klobuchar, the Iron Range, I'm curious. Gun confiscation, right? If the government is buying back, how do you not have that conversation?
Well, that's not confiscation. You
Right.
give them the offer to buy back their gun. But I'll say this. I look at these proposals and I say, does this hurt my Uncle Dick and his deer stand, coming from a proud hunting and fishing state? These proposals don't do that. When I was a prosecutor, I supported the assault weapon ban. When I was in the Senate, I saw those moms from Sandy Hook come and try to advocate for change, and we all failed. And then now these Parkland kids from Florida, they started literally a national shift. You know why? It's just like with gay marriage. When kids talk to their parents and their grandparents, they say, I don't understand why we can't put these sensible things in place. They listen.
Yes.
And if we get bested by a bunch of 17-year-olds, it's the best thing that ever happened.
Senator Mitch McConnell says that his most consequential achievement as Senate Majority Leader was preventing President Obama from filling a Supreme Court seat. Having served with Republicans on the Judiciary Committee, do you believe they would confirm your court nominees?
I'm going to use 20 of my seconds just to say there's one thing we don't all agree with when it comes to guns, and I think it's common sense, and over 70% of Americans agree with me. If you need a license to drive a car, you should need a license to buy and own a firearm. And not everybody in this
Exactly.
agrees with that, but in states like Connecticut that did that, they saw 40% drops in gun violence and 15% drops in suicides. We need to start having bold agendas on guns. When it comes to the Supreme Court, very clearly, I agree with my friend, Secretary Castro, we are going to get to 50 votes in the Senate. This is a team sport. Whoever is our nominee needs to campaign in places like South Carolina, because we can elect Jamie Harrison. They need to campaign in places like Iowa, because we can win a Senate seat there. This is about getting us back to having 50 votes in the Senate and more, so that we can not only balance the Supreme Court, but start to pass an aggressive agenda that frankly isn't so aggressive because most of America agrees with the policy objectives of our party.
Congressman Delaney, you'll have some time in a moment on this issue. Congressman Delaney, I'll give you some time in a moment. Mayor de Blasio, as an executive in the largest city in this country, you are used to saying what you want to have happen and having it happen. If you nominate a Supreme Court nominee as President of the United States and Mitch McConnell is still Senate Majority Leader, what makes you believe that he would allow you to make a nominee?
Rachel, I am Chief Executive of the nation's largest city, and I also want to just say something quick on the gun issue and come to your question. Look, I run the largest police force in America, too, and if we're going to stop these shootings, we're going to get these guns off the street, we have to have a very different relationship between our police and our community. I also want to say there's something that sets me apart from all my colleagues running in this race. That is, for the last 21 years, I've been raising a black son in America. And I have had to have very, very serious talks with my son Dante about how to protect himself on the streets of our city and all over.
I have a friend named Dante who ironically just tweeted about, or just made a comment on Facebook about this debate. I wonder if he'll see this video.
So we need to have a different conversation in this country about guns, but also a different conversation about policing that brings police and community together. We've done that in New York City, and we've driven down crime while we've done it. But to your question about Mitch McConnell, there's a political solution that we have to come to grips with. The Democratic Party would stop acting like the party of the elites and be the party of working people again and go into states, including red states, to convince people we're on their side. We can put pressure on their senators to actually have to vote for the nominees that are put forward. Decent jurists deserve that right.
Senator Walker, I'm going to get you. I will get you 30 seconds. I promise. Let me get this question. We're trying
I know you guys, we got other issues we're trying to get to, including a big one coming up in a minute. But Senator Warren, I want to continue on the Mitch McConnell thing because you have a lot of ambitious plans. You have a plan for that. Okay. We talked about the Supreme Court. Do you have a plan to deal with Mitch McConnell if you don't beat him in the Senate? If he's still sitting there as the Senate Majority Leader, it's very plausible you can get elected president with a Republican Senate. Do you have a plan to deal with Mitch McConnell?
I do.
Well, that's good. That's good.
We are a democracy, and the way a democracy is supposed to work is the will of the people matters. Now, we for far too long have had a Congress in Washington that has just completely dismissed what people care about across this country. They have made this country work much better for those who can make giant contributions, made it work better for those who hire armies of lobbyists and lawyers, and
Right.
not made it work for the people. Well, here's
Yeah.
how I see this happening. Number one, sure, I want to see us get a Democratic majority in the Senate. But short of a Democratic majority in the Senate, you better understand, the fight still goes on. It starts in the White House, and it means that everybody we energize in 2020 stays on the front lines come January 2021. We have to push from the outside, have leadership from the inside, and make this Congress reflect the will of the people.
I'm going to get a couple of you in here. I'm going to get you a couple in here. 30 seconds. Congressman Delaney, you seem to believe you can do everything in a bipartisan manner. Mitch McConnell doesn't operate that way. He operates differently. Why do you think he is going to conform to your style?
I think we need to get things done. That's why I believe we need to operate in a bipartisan manner. Listen, I'll
Okay, but how?
law bills that come to the White House that are passed on a party line basis, absolutely. But all the big transformative things we've ever done in this country's history have happened when huge majorities of the American people get behind them, which is why we need real solutions, not impossible promises. We need to put forth ideas that work, whether it's on health care, creating universal health care so that every American gets health care, but not running on making private insurance illegal. The gun issue is related. The gun safety issue is related because I can't tell you how many times I've been with folks in Western Maryland, and they've said to me, you know, Democrats don't do anything for us, Republicans don't do anything for us. You fight all the time, so they vote on that single issue. If we become the party of getting things done for the American people with real solutions, not impossible promises, we'll be able to get all these things done.
2:30s here. I'm going to say, Senator Booker, 30 seconds. How do you deal with Mitch McConnell? You've been in the Senate. You can't get bills.
How much money do they put into building this set? Cheese and rice.
Is President Booker going to get his bills on the floor with Senator McConnell?
You know, when I got to the United States Senate, going back to what de Blasio said, as an African-American man and an African
I know PewDiePie. He's not. I don't hate him. I just don't really. He's not my favorite, but he's also. I don't have any reason to dislike him that I can think of. He's all right. Everyone's talking about. They were talking about that PewDiePie versus T-Series thing. I don't know what that was. I have no idea what T-Series is, or what, or who it is.
From the day I got to the Senate, built coalitions across the aisle, and today we passed the First Step Act. It's not as far as I want to go, but thousands of people will be liberated. I've taken on tough problems people said we cannot achieve, and I've been able to get things accomplished.
Thank you, Senator Booker. Rachel's got the next question.
Hold on, Governor, you're going to be happy with where we go. Governor Inslee, this next question is to you. You got me? You got me? You have staked your candidacy on the issue of climate change. It is first, second, and third priority for you. You've said it's all the issues. Let's get specific. We're here in Miami, which is already experiencing serious flooding on sunny days as a result of sea level rise. Parts of Miami Beach and the Keys could be underwater in our lifetime.
I do have family members who live in Florida, so that is important to me. The hurricanes are freaking insane.
We are the first generation to feel the sting of climate change, and we are the last that can do something about it. Our towns are burning, our fields are flooding, Miami is inundated. And we have to understand this is a climate crisis, an emergency, and it is our last chance in the administration, next one, to do something about it. And we need to do what I've done in my state. We've passed a 100% clean electrical grid bill. We now have a vision statement, and my plan has been called the gold standard of putting people to work. But the most important thing on this, and the biggest decision for the American public is, who's going to make this the first priority? And I am the candidate and the only one who's saying this has to be the top priority of the United States, the organizing principle to mobilize the United States so that we can do what we've always done, lead the world and invent the future and put 8 million people to work. That's what we're going to do.
Congressman O'Rourke, you also put out a big climate change plan from your campaign. You want some big changes in a pretty short period of time, including
huge changes. I want changes that are huge for the climate.
Of what you're trying to do, but it suddenly feels as if government's telling them how to live and ordering them how to live. What is that balance like?
I think you've got to bring everybody in to the decisions and the solutions to the challenges that we face. That's why we're traveling everywhere, listening to everyone. We were in Pacific Junction, a town that had never meaningfully flooded before, just up against the Missouri River in Iowa. And every home in that community had flooded. There were farms just outside of Pacific Junction that were effectively lakes. Those farmers already underwater in debt. Their markets.
This isn't as debateful as I thought it would be. It's mostly just people talking.
Don't know what to do. We in our administration are going to fund resiliency in those communities, in Miami, in Houston, Texas, those places that are on the front lines of climate change today. We're going to mobilize $5 trillion in this economy over the next 10 years. We're going to free ourselves from a dependence on fossil fuels, and we're going to put farmers and ranchers in the driver's seat, renewable and sustainable agriculture to make sure that we capture more carbon out of the air and keep more of it in the soil, paying farmers for the environmental services that they want to provide. If all of us does all that we can, then we're going to be able to keep this planet from warming another 2 degrees Celsius and ensure that we match what this country can do and live up to our promise and our potential.
30 seconds, Secretary Castro. Who pays for the mitigation to climate, whether it's building seawalls, for people that are perhaps living in places that they shouldn't be living? Is this a federal government issue that needs to do that? Do they have to move these people? What do you do about that where maybe they're building a house someplace that isn't safe? Who pays to build that house? And how much should the government be bailing them out?
Well, I don't think that represents the vast majority of the issue. In fact, my first visit after I announced my candidacy wasn't to Iowa or New Hampshire, it was to San Juan, Puerto Rico. Because people should know that if I'm elected president, everybody will count. And, I'm one of the few candidates in this race with executive experience, with a track record of getting things done. When I was mayor of San Antonio, we moved our local public utility. We began to shift it from coal-fired plants to solar and other renewables, and also created more than 800 jobs doing that. And when I was HUD Secretary, we worked on the National Disaster Resilience Competition to invest in communities that were trying to rebuild from natural disasters in a sustainable way. That's the way that we're going to help make sure that we're all safer in the years to come and that we combat climate change. And if I'm elected president, the first thing that I would do, like Senator Klobuchar also just said, is sign an executive order recommitting us to the Paris Climate Accord so that we lead.
Congressman Ryan, I got a full question for you here, which is simply this. There are a lot of the climate plans include pricing carbon, taxing carbon in some way. This type of proposal has been tried in a few places, whether it's Washington State, where voters voted it down. You've had the Yellow Vest movement. We had in Australia one party get rejected out of fear of the cost of climate change sort of being put on the backs of the consumer. If pricing carbon is just politically impossible, how do we pay for climate mitigation?
There's a variety of different ways to pay. We talk about different ways of raising revenue.
Like, I'm not even paying attention to Tim Ryan. I'm literally not. I can tell some people have left.
Real politics. We could talk about climate, we could talk about guns, we could talk about...
I can tell some people have... There's only 2 people watching now. That's cool. That's fine. I can understand this is getting kind of boring, but I'm going to watch the whole thing. Going to watch the whole thing.
In the very states that I represent, in Ohio, in the industrial Midwest,
meanwhile, I'm just looking at my phone, scrolling through Facebook.
That we have got to change the center of gravity of the Democratic Party from being coastal and elitist, and Ivy League, which is the perception, to somebody from the forgotten community. communities that have been left behind for the last 30 years, to get those workers back on our side so we can say we're going to build electric vehicles, we're going to build solar panels. But if you want to beat Mitch McConnell, this better be a working class party. If you want to go into Kentucky and take his rear end out, and if you want to take Lindsey Graham out, you got to have a blue collar party that can go into the textile communities in South Carolina. So all I'm saying here, if we don't address that fundamental problem with our connection to workers, white, black, brown, gay, straight, working class people, none of this is going to get done, Chuck.
Thank you very much. We're going to keep moving.
Black, white, gay, straight, Vietnamese, Chinese, Chuck E. Cheese, everybody. Give everybody jobs, yeah. No, but seriously, that's good. Jobs are good. Good jobs are good.
My proposal, which is put a price on carbon, give a dividend back to the American people. It goes out one pocket, back in the other. Thank you, I can get that passed my first year as president with a coalition of every Democrat in the Congress and the Republicans who live in coastal states. As Republicans in Florida, they actually care about this issue. This has got to be our way forward if we're actually serious about this issue.
Congresswoman Gabbard.
Ooh, Gabbard.
One of the first things you did after launching your campaign was to issue an apology to the LGBTQ community about your past stances and statements on gay rights. After the Trump administration's
Honestly, I'm not.
of civil rights protections for many in that community, why should voters in that community, or voters that care about this issue in general, trust you now?
Let me say that there is no one in our government at any level who has the right to tell any American who they should be allowed to love or who they should be allowed to marry. My record in Congress for over 6 years shows my commitment to fighting for LGBTQ equality. I serve on the Equality Caucus and recently voted for passage of the Equality Act. Maybe many people in this country can relate to the fact that I grew up in a socially conservative home, held views when I was very young that I no longer hold today. I've served with LGBTQ service members, both in training and deployed downrange. I know that they would give their life for me, and I would give my life for them. It is this commitment that I'll carry through as President of the United States, recognizing that there are still people who are facing discrimination in the workplace, still people who are unable to find a home for their families. It is this kind of discrimination that we need to address.
But it's not enough. It's not enough. If I can add to this, it's very important.
30 seconds.
It's not enough. Look, civil rights is some place to begin, but in the African-American civil rights community, another place to focus on was to stop the lynching of African-Americans. We do not talk enough about trans Americans, especially African-American trans Americans.
Yes, exactly.
We don't talk enough about how many children, about 30% of LGBTQ kids, who do not go to school because of fear. It's not enough just to be on the Equality Act. I'm an original co-sponsor. We need to have a president that will fight.
Well, we do need the Equality Act for yeah. We needed it like 30 years ago. I mean, God.
On the issue of civil rights, for decades, on the issue of civil rights and demographics, honestly, and politics, for decades, the Democratic Party has counted on African American voter turnout as step one to winning elections on a national level. Democrats are counting on the Latino community now and in the future in the same way. What have you done for Black and Latino voters that should enthuse them about going to the polls for you if you're your party's nominee?
My life and my career and my work in the Senate has been about economic opportunity. And to me, this means better child care for everyone in this country. And when you want to have an economy that works, you need to have retirement that works. You need to have public schools that work. And you also need to make sure that those communities are able to get those jobs of the future, the STEM jobs. In fact, Donald Trump, one of the first bills that he signed, of the 34 he signed where I was the lead Democrat, okay, that's a first up here, was one that was about that, making sure minority community members could share in those jobs. So to me, it's about a few things. It's about an African-American woman that goes to a hospital in New Orleans, says her hands are swollen, and then doctor ignores her and her baby dies. It's about the fact that African-American women make 61 cents for every dollar a white man makes. So
yeah, I know my Wearing and Death videos exploded. Absolutely crazy.
First 100 days as president, we will work to make make sure everyone can vote at this table. Everyone can vote in this country. And we will also go to the next step of criminal justice reform. Senator Booker and I worked on that First Step Act, but we should go to the Second Step Act, which is to help all our communities across.
Senator, thank you very much. 30-second follow-up to you. Secretary Castro, this is a 70% Latino city here in Miami. You are the only Latino Democrat who is running this year in the presidential race. Is that enough of an answer? What Senator Klobuchar is describing there, an economic justice agenda, is that enough to mobilize Latino voters to stand with the Democratic Party in a big way?
Well, I also think that we have to recognize racial and social justice. And, you know, I was in Charleston not too long ago, and I remembered that Dylan Roof went to the Mother Emanuel AME Church, and he murdered 9 people who were worshiping, and then he was apprehended by police without incident. Well, but what about Eric Garner and Tamir Rice and Laquan McDonald and Sandra Bland and Pamela Turner and Emilio Offset? I'm proud that I'm the only candidate so far that has put forward legislation that would reform our policing system in America and make sure that no matter what the color of your skin is, that you're treated the same, including Latinos who are mistreated too oftentimes by police.
Secretary Castro, thank you.
Let me go over to Lester Holt, who's got a question, I believe, a viewer question.
I'm over here, Chuck, thanks. We ask voters from across the country to submit their questions to the candidates. Let me read one now. This comes from John in New York, who submitted this question. He asks, does the United States have a responsibility to protect in the case of genocide or crimes against humanity? Do we have a responsibility to intervene, to protect people threatened by their governments, even when atrocities do not affect American core interests? I'd like to direct that question to Congressman O'Rourke.
John, I appreciate the question.
Yeah, I love the long, awkward pause. Oh.
That action should always be undertaken with allies and partners and friends. When the United States presents a united front,
he's not going to say anything here, is he?
He's
going to say he's going to say a bunch of words and say absolutely nothing.
The kind of genocide
Beta O'Rourke.
The kind of genocide that we saw
Beta O'Rourke.
in Rwanda, the
Bet on my stork.
we want to stop going forward. But unfortunately, under this administration, President Trump has alienated our allies and our friends and our alliances. He's diminished our standing in the world, and he's made us weaker as a country, less able to confront challenges, whether it's Iran or North Korea or Vladimir Putin in Russia, who attacked and invaded our democracy in 2016, and who President Trump has offered another invitation to do the same. He's embraced strongmen and dictators at the expense of the great democracies.
Oh, all that. He worships dictators. He plays softball with dictators. He was to Kim Jong-un. Like, the one good thing that he did, one of the few good things that he did as far as foreign policy was negotiating with Kim Jong-un. And people are giving him crap for that. Like, come on. Trump did a good job with that. He's been making progress. That's something that he's actually been doing that's pleasant. If he does something good, we should congratulate him for it. If he does something terrible, we should call him out. End of discussion.
In the Pacific of World War II, in the U.S. Army, Battle of Okinawa, had half his leg blown off, and he came home with scars, both physical and emotional, and he did not recover. He spiraled downward, and he ultimately took his own life. And that battle didn't kill him, but that war did. And look, even in the humanitarian crisis, and I think we should be ready, Congressman, to intervene. God forbid there is a genocide, but not without congressional approval. Democrats and Republicans, both in the Congress, have not challenged presidents and have let them get away with running the military without that congressional approval. We learned a lesson in Vietnam we seem to have forgotten. And the decisions have to be made by the United States Congress.
I want to pick up this point, and I want to put this to Congressman Ryan. Today, the Taliban claimed responsibility for killing 2 American service members in Afghanistan. Leaders as disparate as President Obama and President Trump have both said that they want to end U.S. involvement in Afghanistan, but it isn't over.
I don't hate you, Jameson. I never said I hated you. I just said that you were misinformed on what was going on, and that what you were saying was just objectively not true. Doesn't mean I hate you. It just means that you just weren't correct on this issue. And I just felt that you were just too involved in it when I don't feel it was any of your business. Doesn't mean I have to hate you. I don't hate you. It takes a lot for me to hate someone, and that's not it.
But right now we have, so I would say we must be engaged in this. We must have our State Department engaged. We must have our military engaged to the extent they need to be. But the reality of it is, this president doesn't even have people appointed in the State Department to deal with these things. Whether we're talking about Central America, whether we're talking about Iran, whether we're talking about Afghanistan, we've got to be completely engaged. And here's why. Because these flare-ups...
I wonder if I'm losing... Am I losing subscribers? I wonder if this is making me lose subscribers. I should check that. Am I losing subscribers because of this? Let's see. 1798. Refresh. I don't think I'm losing any. Probably just jinxed it, didn't I? 1798 is what I'm at right now as far as subs go. So let's see if it goes down after this video goes up. Hopefully not, but we'll see.
As a soldier, I will tell you that answer is unacceptable. We have to bring our troops
Yes.
from Afghanistan. We are in a place in Afghanistan where we have lost so many lives. We've spent so much money, money that's coming out of every one of our pockets, money that should be going into communities here at home, meeting the needs of the people here at home. We are no better off in Afghanistan today than we were when this war began. This is why it's so important to have a president and commander-in-chief who knows the cost of war and who's ready to do the job on day one. I am ready to do that job when I walk into the Oval Office.
That dude's face is just like... He looks like he just ate a sour candy. That's Bill de Blasio, isn't it? Oh, yeah.
You get 30 seconds, go. Fair enough. I hear what you're saying.
I would just say, I don't want to be engaged. I wish we were spending all this money in places that I've represented that have been completely forgotten and we were rebuilding. But the reality of it is, if the United States isn't engaged, the Taliban will grow and they will have bigger...
What evidence is there of that? Many of these terrorist organizations happened under U.S. intervention.
Squash this Taliban that has been there, that every other country that's tried has failed.
When we weren't in there, they started flying planes into our buildings. So I'm just saying right now,
the Taliban didn't attack us on 9/11.
Oh, the booze.
Al-Qaeda attacked us on 9/11.
Yeah, it's...
I and so many other people joined the military to go after Al-Qaeda, not the Taliban.
The Taliban was protecting those people who were plotting against us. All I'm saying is, if we want to go in to...
The frames are dropping like crazy. Why is this such bad quality?
That's what President Trump is saying. We can't. I would love for us to...
protecting Al-Qaeda right now in Saudi Arabia.
I want to go down the line here, finish up.
I put it 360p. I don't know for the stream.
Who is the geopolitical threat to the United States? Just give me a one-word answer, Congressman Delaney.
Can you repeat the
greatest geopolitical threat to the United States right now, Congressman Delaney?
Well, the biggest geopolitical challenge is China, but the biggest geopolitical threat remains nuclear weapons.
I love that whoa from the audience. They're like, what? What? What did you just say? China?
The biggest threat to the security of the United States is Donald Trump. And there's no...
He actually sounded like Trump. The biggest threat to the security of the United States is Donald Trump. It's fantastic. Believe me, it's fantastic. You see nothing like it. Believe me.
Two threats: economic threat, China, but our major threat right now is what's going on in the Mideast with Iran. If we don't get our
try to keep it slimmer than what we've been going here. One or two words.
Our existential threat is climate change. We have to confront it before it's too late.
Senator Warren.
Yeah.
Senator Booker.
Nuclear proliferation and climate change.
Secretary Castro.
Say China and climate change.
Congressman Ryan.
China, without a question, they're wiping us around the world economically.
And Mr. Mayor.
Russia, because they're trying to undermine our democracy. And
Oh!
we need to stop them.
All right, well.
And you're out. Strike one, you're out.
And I mean that. No, I mean that.
You were on a roll, Bill.
This is the best part.
You were on a roll, and you bring up Russiagate again. Well, I know Maddow. I know Maddow. I know she got excited after hearing that. What? Did I get something right? No, you didn't. Oh my God. Russia. No. Oh, that Russiagate pisses me off to no extent.
Yes.
It's horrible.
How, by the way, if the answer is yes.
Well, you hate Trump and you hate the newer Xbox 360 boot animation because you like the older one way better.
Is the
It's furious like a block missionary if you don't take this serious. If love CNN channel, well, they should get banned from TV because they tell lies, they do bad stuff. I mean, yeah. But if you ban CNN, you'd also have to you have to ban NBC and Fox News and pretty much the majority of mainstream media. So, which I'm honestly, I don't know if I'd ban it. I wouldn't ban it. But a lot of the stuff they do tell is not true on pretty much any mainstream media network, whether it's NBC, CNN, Fox News. It's all bullshit, pretty much.
In this year or the year that follows, and under my administration, our Department of Justice will pursue these facts and ensure that there are consequences, there is accountability, and there is justice. It's the only way that we save this country. Thank you, Congressman O'Rourke.
Congressman Delaney, because of the accountability issues that Congressman O'Rourke was just describing there, and the real political landscape in which Nancy Pelosi is saying that impeachment will not be pursued in the House, it raises the prospect, and the Mueller report raises the prospect, that President Trump could be prosecuted for some of those potential crimes down the line. No U.S. president has ever been prosecuted for crimes after leaving office. Do you believe that President Trump could or should be the first?
I guess there's always a first.
I mean, it's a possibility, but like, I do definitely see it's a possibility because of a lot of the financial crimes that he's committed with his businesses, but I don't know. We'll have to see. I'm kind of lukewarm on whether or not I think that's going to happen. You're talking about opinion. I'm just thinking about, do I think it's going to happen? I don't know.
No one's above the law, and this president, who is lawless, should not be above the law. But I will tell you, Rachel, the one thing when you're out doing as much campaigning as I've done, 400 events, all 99 counties in Iowa, this is not the #1 issue the American people ask us about. It's not. They want to know what we're going to do for health care, how we're going to lower pharmaceutical prices, how we're going to build infrastructure, what we're going to do to create jobs in their communities. You know, last year in our country, 80% of the money for startup businesses went to 50 counties in this country. There's over 3,000 counties in this country. That's what they care about. They care about what's going on in the public schools. They care about what's going on with jobs in their communities, with their pay, with their health care, with infrastructure. These are the issues, these kind of kitchen table, pocketbook issues, are actually what most Americans care about. They never ask about the Mueller report. They never ask about it. They want to know how we're going to
Okay, shut up, dude. Your time.
Here's the thing. Senator,
we let the Republicans run our election, and if we do not do something about Russian interference in the election, and we let Mitch McConnell stuff all the backup paper back,
Russia. Shut up about 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 Russia.
We are going to start with something different tonight. This is one of those things that you have not been otherwise hearing about in the news, but stick with me.
Feed your mind with fresh perspective. Get your favorite MSNBC shows now as podcasts.
There's a reason why your ratings are going down, because your network is trash.
Thousands of jobs. But we did these things with real solutions, not with impossible promises. And those are the roots that we have to get back to.
Young Fleming, who gives a fuck about Russia? Yeah, that's true. That's my point exactly. No one cares about Russia. Nobody. Nobody in this country, when you actually poll people, gives a crap about Russia. If you ask them how important the Russian-ness of the last election was, it's probably issue number 437.
Thank you. Mayor de Blasio, Mayor, your closing statement.
It matters. It matters in this fight for the heart and soul of our party that we nominate a candidate who has seen the face of poverty and didn't just talk about it, but gave people $15 minimum wage. It matters that we nominate a candidate who saw the destruction wrought by broken.
You should be president.
And gave people universal health care. It matters.
I don't know if you're talking about Bill de Blasio or if you're talking about me, but I think I'm making. I don't know if I could do it. Like, that's a stressful job. It's like the most stressful job in the world. I could probably do it, though. I'd probably get killed, to be honest. I'd probably get assassinated. I don't want to do that. I have enough people hating me already. I don't need to be president.
Let's work together. With your help, we can put working people first again in America.
Thank you, Mayor de Blasio. Right on time.
Governor Inslee, 45 seconds. Trinity and I have 3 grandchildren. We love them all. And when I was thinking about whether to run for president, I made a decision. I decided that on my last day on earth, I wanted to look them in the eye.
I just remembered. I think this was the guy who actually live streamed him changing his baby's diaper. It's like, oh God, no.
And I know to a moral certainty,
That's like when Hillary Clinton was like, I want you to Pokemon go to the polls. Remember that crap?
frankly, I'm surprised. I'm the only candidate who's made this commitment to make it the top priority.
It's insane.
If you join me in that recognition of how important this is, we can have a unified
Pokemon go to the polls.
We can save ourselves. We can save our children. We can save our grandchildren. And we can save literally the life on this planet. This is our moment.
Governor, thank you. Congressman Ryan, your 45 seconds.
There's nothing worse than not being heard. Nothing worse than not being seen, and I know that because I've represented for 17 years in Congress a forgotten community. They've tried to divide us, who's white, who's black, who's gay, who's straight, who's a man, who's a woman, and they ran away with all the gold because they divided the working class. It's time for us to come together. I don't know how you feel, but I'm ready to play some offense. I come from the middle of industrial America, but these problems are all over our country. There's a tent city in LA, there's homeless people, and people around our country who can't afford a home. It's time for us to get back on track. The teacher in Texas, the nurse in New Hampshire, the waitress in Wisconsin, all of us coming together, playing offense with an agenda that lifts everybody up. I will only promise you one thing. When I walk into that Oval Office every morning, you will not be forgotten. Your voice will be heard. Thank you.
There's my girl.
Our
Dulcie.
nation was founded on the principles of service above self. People who fled kings who literally prospered on the backs and the sacrifices of people. Coming here to this country, instead putting in place a government that is of, by, and for the people. But that's not what we have. Instead, we have a government that is of, by, and for the rich and powerful. This must end. As President, our White House will be a beacon of light, providing hope and opportunity, ushering in a new century where every single person will be able to get the health care they need, where we will have clean air to breathe and clean water to drink, where we will have good-paying jobs in a new green economy. Join me in ushering in this new century with peace, prosperity, opportunity, and justice for all. Congresswoman, thank you.
Way to go, Tulsi.
Y estoy postulando por presidente de los Estados Unidos. The very fact that I can say that tonight shows the progress that we have made in this country. Like many of you, I know the promise of America. My grandmother came here when she was 7 years old as an immigrant from Mexico. And just 2 generations later, one of her grandsons is serving in the United States Congress, and the other one is running for president in the United States. If I'm elected president, I will work hard every single day so that you and your family can get good health care, your child can get a good education, and that you can have good job opportunities, whether you live in a big city or a small town. And on January 20th, 2021, we'll say adios to Donald Trump.
Senator Klobuchar, the floor is yours.
3 things to know about me. First, I listen to people, and that's how I get things done. That is my focus. I have a track record of passing over 100 bills where I'm the lead Democrat, and that is because I listened and I acted. And I think that's important in a president. Everything else just melts away. Secondly, I'm someone that can win and beat Donald Trump. I have won every place, every race, and every time. I have won in the reddest of districts, ones that Donald Trump won by over 20 points. I can win in states like Wisconsin and Iowa and in Michigan. And finally, yeah, I am not the establishment party candidate, respect, but I'm not that person. I am the one that doesn't have a political machine that doesn't come from money. And I don't make all the promises that everyone up here makes, but I can promise you this. I'm going to govern with integrity, I'm going to have your back, and I'm going to govern for you.
Thank you, Senator.
Mm-hmm.
Gracias. 50 years ago this month, my family moved into the town I grew up in because after being denied a house because of the color of their skin, it was activists, mostly white activists, that stood up and fought for them. That's the best of who we are as America, and why when I got out of law school, I moved into the inner city of Newark to fight as a tenant lawyer for other people's rights. I've taken on bullies and beat them. I've taken on tough fights, and we've won. And we win those fights not by showing the worst of who we are, but rising to who's best. Donald Trump wants us to fight him on his turf and his terms. We will beat him. I will beat him by calling this country to a sense of common purpose again. This is a referendum on him and getting rid of him, but it's also a referendum on us, who we are and who we must be to each other. It's time we win this election, and the way I will govern is by showing the best of who we are, because that's what this country needs and deserves. Thank you.
Congressman O'Rourke? Our daughter Molly turned 11 this week. I'm on this stage for her, for children across this country, including some her same age who've been separated from their parents and are sleeping on concrete floors under aluminum blankets tonight. If we're going to be there for them, if we're going to confront the challenges that we face, we can't return to the same old approach. We're going to need a new kind of politics, one directed by the urgency of the next generation. Those climate activists who are fighting not just for their future, but for everyone's. Those students marching not just for their lives.
I stopped listening to Beto.
We'll need a movement like the one that we led in
Could
Texas.
freaking put me to sleep.
Democracy by bringing everyone in and writing nobody off. That's how we beat Donald Trump. That's how we bring this great country together again. Join us.
No, my 360 from 2009 does not have the old boot animation. It was updated because it was my main console for a while, so obviously I had to update it to use internet.
You have 45 seconds for the final statement of the evening.
Thank you. It's a great honor to be here. Never in a million years did I think I would stand on a stage like this. I was born and raised in Oklahoma. I have 3 older brothers. They all joined the military. I had a dream growing up, and my dream was to be a public school teacher. By the time I graduated from high school, my family didn't have the money for a college application, much less a chance for me to go to college. But I got my chance. It was a $50 a semester commuter college. That was a little slice of government that created some opportunity for a girl, and it opened my life. I am in this fight because I believe that we can make our government, we can make our economy, we can make our country work, not just for those at the top. We can make it work for everyone, and I promise you this, I will fight for you as hard as I fight for my own family. So.
Tonight, and that will do it for night 1 of this 2-night event. And guess what? We've got 10 more candidates tomorrow night.
We certainly hope you will join us then, but for now, that concludes our coverage of this first Democratic debate from Miami. For Savannah, Jose, Chuck, and Rachel, I'm Lester Holt.
Okay, that's it. Man, yeah, there was not a lot of speaking in all honesty because there were just so many dang people. Great, done. Over. Finally. Let's see, what's this next? Who's gonna win the election? Depends on who makes it to the, who makes it to the general. Here's what I think. Right now, there are 5 frontrunners in the Democratic primary. There's Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Kamala Harris, and Pete Buttigieg in that order. I believe that's the correct. Buttigieg and Kamala may be switched around. I'm not sure. But either way, there is plenty. Who the hell is this? That GTA fan 420. Oh my god. Man. I'm somehow popular enough that I actually have someone make. Wait, I think that's my friend Caleb. I could be wrong on that. I'm gonna put you in a timeout. I know you're just saying Trump 2020, but I know you're probably gonna say some things that are actually stupid. So Democrats are retarded. Yeah. So am I sometimes. Anyways, so it depends on who makes it to the general. If Joe Biden makes it to the general election, if he somehow managed to go through, first off, his moment when the debates happen tomorrow, trust me, his poll numbers are going to tank. He's having the exact same problems that Hillary Clinton had, where she started off really great favorably, and the moment she opened her trap, people started hating her because she's terrible. So if, okay, Young Flimmy just said Trump's not going to win, it depends on who makes it to the general. If Joe Biden makes it to the general election, there's a very strong chance that Trump could win again, because they've been making the exact same mistakes that they made in 2016. Now, if Bernie Sanders makes it to the general election, it's game over for Trump. And because he was going to win last time had he made it to the general, because he wins those swing states. That's where, in our system right now, we have an electoral college where we have certain states be worth more than others, not based on population, but based on how small they are. Then that's when you have people like Joe Biden mess up the election. Even though Hillary Clinton won the popular vote by over 3 million votes, she still lost because she didn't even bother campaigning in what she assumed were democratic lockdowns, because Obama got them on both terms. So this election is going to be very interesting, because we're going to see that kind of paradigm shift in one direction or the other. Like it or not, Democrats and even moderates and independents are becoming more and more progressive whenever they actually see the policies that are coming out from people like Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Tulsi Gabbard, even Andrew Yang, Marianne Williamson, Bill de Blasio even. These people who are running on truly progressive policies and actually mean it, because we saw in that debate some of those candidates actually adopted some of the progressive policy platforms. We saw Cory Booker, and we saw a few others as examples where they were saying that they were adopting progressive values, like the $15 minimum wage, like Medicare for all, like free college, like ending wars, whatever the case may be. And here's what I think is going to happen. Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden, they are the 2 out of the 3 centrists who are in the top 5 as far as frontrunners. Biden is going to tank in the polls immediately after the next debate. He's going to tank in the polls, and Bernie Sanders is going to leapfrog him. He's already dropping, and it's been less than a month after his announcement speech, if I'm remembering correctly. Actually, no, it's been longer than that. Jeez, it's been longer than that. But either way, he's been dropping in the polls, and Warren has actually been taking a lot of his points, because the same percentage that Joe Biden has been dropping, then my channel name used to be That GTA Fan 720, not 420. Obviously, it was 720 because that was a joke on the Xbox One. By the way, if you can see, this is my Xbox One, so I do have an Xbox One now. I actually was going to post a video unboxing it. I don't know if I ever posted that. I don't think I did, but if you want me to, I can post that video, because I had some footage that got corrupted for part of it, but I still have a decent chunk of it. So also, Young Philby, you asked me to do the video on how to set up a 360. I'm going to do that at some point before I die. So yeah, so Ghost vs. Josh, that was a separate channel, and that's pretty much dormant now because we both lost the password to it. So yeah, of course, the actual Ghost vs. Josh series has just been a failure, so unfortunately. And of course, Ghost now is enlisted in the military, so he's actually not going to be around all that often. I've been wanting to see him, though, because he's still one of my best friends, and I haven't seen him in a long time, and I really miss the dude. I love him like a brother, so yeah, I want to see him. There's a lot of people I love that I can't see right now. Life sucks. But yeah, so as far as who could potentially win, yes, I do still play Xbox 360. I don't have online, though. As far as who can win in 2020, Bernie Sanders can win, especially Because there are so many Democratic strategists, especially from these networks, MSNBC, CNN, Fox News, who keep erroneously stating that Joe Biden is the best to beat Trump and Bernie Sanders is the worst. It's the complete opposite. We saw what happened in 2016. And the evidence from both, whenever Bernie Sanders, every single poll we've seen that has Bernie Sanders pitted against Donald Trump, he is winning by double-digit leads. Keep in mind, when Hillary was pitted against Trump, she only won by a couple points. Bernie is winning against Trump in pretty much every single poll by multiple double digits. God says we're all sinners. Okay, I don't care. That's great. That's great. I mean, I was, according to your book, apparently I was according to your book, I was going to hell no matter what. So whatever. How dare I love someone? But yeah, so as far as the Democratic, I keep wanting to say candidates. I keep wanting to say contestants. Bernie Sanders is the one who's most likely to win. So if you want Trump out of office, you need to vote for Bernie Sanders in the primaries, point blank. He's the one who has the most support right now in terms of actual grassroots support. He was the front runner for a long time, and he is going to make it through if we actually show that he has the support. Because last time the DNC rigged it in favor of Hillary Clinton. So if we can stop that from happening this time, then we'll see a Sanders presidency and we will see Trump be removed from office. Now, if there's another centrist, it depends. There is still a possibility they could win based on, it's not going to be Biden. There's still a slim possibility that Biden could win, but it's the same slim pickings that Hillary could have won. And obviously we know how that turned out, so we don't want to chance it. Biden, if pitted against Trump, is likely it's going to be extremely close, and I think he's still going to lose, and we're going to see a Trump re-election if Biden makes it to the general. Yes, I'm still playing the original Xbox. But if Pete Buttigieg makes it to the general, there is a small possibility that he could get the progressive vote based on identity politics. However, that's not going to help him because of the fact that Pete Buttigieg is gay, speaks 7 different languages, and is like a super smart, he's a super smart dude. That has the Democrats who run on identity politics, the establishment, they are latching on to Buttigieg. And because it used to be Beto O'Rourke that they were latching onto. Now it's Buttigieg. And he's a smart guy, but his policies are just not where they're supposed to be. And he clearly shows that he isn't as experienced as he kind of leads on with his point. He's a very intelligent guy, and I do think that if push comes to shove, he makes it into office, I think he could do a decent job. But when pitted against Trump, I don't think he's going to fare all that well. Like, he's going to fare okay in terms of, like, debates and stuff, but I don't think he's going to resonate with people enough to actually get him on the votes. And keep in mind, it is true. Like, I know people, like, this is kind of a moot point because it's a very small number of people, but there were people who refused to vote for Hillary simply because she was a woman. However, my response to that is I don't think those were people who were going to vote for her anyways, so I don't think that's a considerable amount. But it will be interesting to see if that same thing happens to Pete Buttigieg. Are there going to be centrist Democrats, and I know a few personally, are there going to be centrist Democrats who do not support the LGBTQ community, who because of that are going to back Trump over Buttigieg because of that? Who are going to refuse to support a candidate for president who is not straight? And I don't have the answer to that question, but that's something to think about because it is a possibility. With that combined with the fact that he's still a centrist, so he's not leaning on progressive policies, with the fact that he also is right now not doing the best in the polls, so to see him jump up, I don't think is all that likely. I don't think that Buttigieg I don't think he's the best choice to beat Trump. Now, keep in mind, any of these Democrats, I want to say any, most of them at the very least, or pretty much any of them. No, yeah, I'm going to say any of them. Whoever makes it to the general, I'm voting for them over Trump, period. I've already decided that I will not be supporting Trump in the 2020 re-election by any stretch of the imagination. If every single Democrat is that bad, I'm just going to stay home. Unless that, and that's assuming that there's somehow every single one of them is as bad as Trump, which none of them are, in my opinion. So it's one of those things where we're just gonna have to play it by ear. You know, whether or not Trump gets reelected, it's definitely a possibility. Fox News is awesome. CNN should be banned. Are we watching the same network, dude? You think CNN sucks, but you think Fox News is great. They're both terrible. Like, just objectively, they get a lot of stuff wrong. They both have biases. Fox News is way more biased than CNN is, but you know, at least CNN can kind of hide it a little bit since they're both obviously biased. But people assume that Fox is somehow more unbiased than CNN. I don't know where that came from. They're both incredibly biased. CNN is biased towards the establishment, which is conservative economics and progressive social values. I said that wrong. Basically, conservative when it comes to economics and liberal when it comes to social. Yang Gang 2020. Yes. Yang Gang 2020. Andrew Yang is my number 3. My number 1 is Bernie Sanders. My number 2 is Tulsi Gabbard. And my number 3 is Andrew Yang. And honestly, Andrew very well could take that number 2 spot in my book. And then number 4 would likely be Elizabeth Warren or Marianne Williamson. Those two could be split up between 4 and 5. If Richard Ojeda was still in the race, he would have been my number 4. If Richard Ojeda was still in the race, he would have been my number 4 for sure. And but unfortunately, he's not. So we'll see. I hope he gets a good position from whoever does get this. So, do you know when Arcade Machine 15 will upload a video because he didn't upload 9 in 10 months? I don't know. But we will figure out. But yeah, so I will be covering this election more so on Politics. God, 2020. Sorry, God. I don't think you can run. Could a religious leader run in a secular country? I don't know. We'll see. But God, honestly, I don't know. I might vote for you. What's your policy platform? Do you support Medicare for all? Do you support... Who am I kidding? Your son was basically a socialist. Obviously, he would support all those things. And way more than that. People are like, the Democrats are socialists. Psst, whatever. That's just not objectively true, but people keep saying that. Socialism bad because we can't have Medicare for all because socialism. We can't have it because socialism. Everything the Democrats do is socialism. Everything Republicans do is amazing. Okay, whatever. But yeah, so if right now the second night of the debates is going to be where the fireworks fly. We have Andrew Yang, Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Pete Buttigieg, Joe Biden, Marianne Williamson, Seth Moulton. Forgetting the rest of the names. I forgot the names. I should have done a video on the actual people. But either way, we'll see it tomorrow. And Andrew Yang, I really want to see him kick some ass. Bernie Sanders, I want to see him tear the spine out of Joe Biden, Mortal Kombat style. So God says gay people and trans people do not belong in heaven or earth, to be honest. I agree. They shouldn't be inside Earth. They should be on the outside of the Earth. They should be standing on the Earth, living their lives, not inside the Earth. How about people? Can you stop killing them? That'd be nice. It's Pride Month, motherfuckers. Can we please get some nice... Here. Love. Love is love. Love is beautiful. Can we stop killing people, please? Hey. If you want to kill someone because they're gay or trans, can you stop, please? Be nice. Please. 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 Stop killing us. Okay. Yeah. Okay, now the comments is just a load of garbage. But yeah. So yeah, so that's basically the status as far as who I think is going to win. Bernie Sanders, if he makes it to the general, he's going to wipe his ass with Trump. And if another progressive makes it, if Andrew Yang somehow makes it that far, I do think after the debates, I think Andrew is going to shoot up to 6th, maybe 5th place. It'll be interesting to see how well Tulsi goes up and Warren goes up after this. Who knows? Maybe some of the other candidates might go up a little bit too. Maybe Booker will go up a little bit. I don't know. Maybe de Blasio, I think, might go up just a little bit. It depends. We'll have to look at the polls after they're updated from people who've watched this debate. Obviously, it's too soon to tell because it literally just happened. But we will see. But yeah, so that's basically that. But yeah. So yeah, that was the first night of the Democratic presidential debate, primary debates. This was my reaction, my live reaction to it, and yeah. Politics, huh? Let's see how well my subscriber count jumps down because of this. So last I checked, it was at 1790 something, 1798. Now it's 1799. I gained a subscriber. Holy crap! Am I gonna get to 1800 tonight? That'd be cool. But yeah, maybe I'll hit 2,000 by the end of the debates. That'd be cool, which is only tomorrow night. If I get to 2,000, that'd be great. Let's hit 2,000 subs. 2,000 subs, yes. Let's get some sponsors. I had a couple companies reach out to me to sponsor some vacuum reviews. Actually, there was one person who reached out for a vacuum review. There were a couple of people, actually. There was one who reached out for another thing, and I actually talked to the CEO on the phone. And I was going to sponsor that app. I had the app installed on my iPhone. Or I did when I had the iPhone. And because it's only an iPhone app right now. And it was a crowdfunding app. And it was great. And I actually thought it was really, really well done. I was like, yeah, I would totally sponsor this. Dude didn't call me back. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud because I probably just ruined our sponsorship abilities. But, oh, well, that was a bad idea. Anyways, but yeah, so companies, if you want to sponsor me, please sponsor me. Actually, I need to reach out to more companies, but of course with work I've been busy. But I want to get some sponsorships on this channel. I'm not against sponsorships by any stretch of the imagination. Assuming as long as I can still talk normally and not have it dissuaded by, and I don't want them giving me money or anything. Like if they want to give me a product to review and have me send it back to them afterwards, or even if they're honestly just like, whatever, we don't want it back, that's fine. I want to get Samsung to sponsor me for the Galaxy Note 10. Because I mean Samsung, Note 9, Note 8. Let's take this case off. Note 7. I don't have a Note 5 right now. Note 4. I have a broken Note 2 and a broken Note 3, but no working ones at the moment. Look at all these notes. Samsung, let me sponsor my review of the Note 10. You know I'm going to love the device. Like, honestly, just honestly. Look at that. Note 7. Note 8. Note 9. My daily driver, the Note 9. Look at that. Beautiful Note 9. Bluetooth S Pen. Nice. But yeah, Samsung, sponsor me for the Note 10. I would love to do a review on it. By the way, I did a review on the Note 8. That one's going up soon. Then I'll do the review on the Note FE and Note 7. OnePlus 3 coming up. All kinds of stuff. I'm just backlogged with videos right now, unfortunately. Because of work and stuff, I've been super busy. I did get my Note 8 review filmed yesterday since I was off. And I'm gonna get that up. You got 1,800 subscribers. Did I just hit that now? Nope, still at $17.99. Oh! Ha! Yo! 1,800, bros. Good stuff. Thanks, dudes. Got to 1,800. 1,800 subscribers. Dang. That's good. That's good. I'm getting more. Yes. Good stuff. Good stuff. I need to do another Xbox video. That thing exploded. Get it? That thing exploded. Like the Note 7. This isn't the 7. This is the FE. It's the Note Fan Edition. I do still have my 7. It's in the box over there. That blue, the blue one, the T-Mobile blue one. I still have it. So that's why you didn't do my request, because you've been doing phone reviews and you've been working. Yeah, I thought I mentioned that before. Sorry about that. But yeah, I've been working, so like I haven't had a lot of time to do like a billion different vacuum requests and all that kind of stuff. That stuff takes time. Editing takes time. It's not just press a button and record. I know you guys generally don't edit your stuff as much. You might just press record and then just do it, or even just do a live stream, which means once you're done, you're done. But a lot of work goes into these videos. My Note 3, like, if you want an example of how much work sometimes goes into my videos, go look at my Note 3 review. Now, there's a reason why I've actually switched to doing reviews like vlog style, where I just sit in front of the camera and talk about it, because that Note 3 review took months for me to make. Voiceover, editing, transitions, grabbing archival footage from my phone, from other phones, from other people's videos. It was a half hour long. Go look at my Note 3 review. It was a half hour video, and it had a lot of really good production quality. I'm very proud of that video. It was one of the best works that I had ever done, and I'm very proud of it. And go look at that video. You can see how much work goes into some of these videos. And there's a reason why I switched to these videos, because it's a lot less drama. I just sit in front of the camera. I just talk about my experience using the device. Maybe switch to some photo samples here and there. Throw my watermark on it, and then good. Throw a transition here or there, and it's all right. So why did they switch dark silver vents to gray vents? I don't know. I don't work for Microsoft. The gray vents are the ones they used on the core model, so I'm assuming they switched to the gray, so that way, since they had two separate molds for the colors, they could then switch that dark silver and make it darker, so it was black, and then they had cases ready for when the Elite came out. That's my guess. Since they had like two, I'm assuming they had like two production lines depending on which manufacturing colors. And they shut down the dark silver production line from the Pro SKUs, moved it over to gray, so they could have that line open for when they eventually made the side panels for the Elites. That's my guess, because when the dark silver went away versus when the Elite came out, there was only a few months in between. So that's why I think. Because keep in mind, it was like late 2006 that they stopped the dark silver, and the Elite came out April 2007. So I think that's enough times where they would have switched the molds over. That's my guess anyways. So that's why I want a video editing app. Yeah, I use VideoPad. Actually, this is what I use. This was a piece of software that my friend Ty gave me a few years ago, back when I was still living in Missouri. And because he used this for his YouTube channel. His is a Callus. He's featured on my channel. At least he should be. I don't know if he changed his name since then. But he does gaming videos. He's a good friend of mine. I haven't stayed up to date with his stuff, but he's a good friend of mine. And he actually gave me an activation key for this piece of software. Unfortunately, this is an old version because the newer version doesn't work with the key anymore. So I'm still using this older version, but it still works. It still does everything I need to do. And this specific version is compatible all the way back to Windows XP. It works all the way from Windows XP all the way up to the latest version of Windows 10, and it works perfectly on all those systems. So if I need to like temporarily use a system that's on Vista or even XP, this will still get the job done. Now it performs better on Vista and later. XP, it's kind of wonky in terms of like just the support of like certain transitions, because that's just how XP is. But once you got to Vista, like if I run this on Vista and on Windows 10, there's no difference in the performance or the features. The UI is a little bit different, but that's it. Because it changes these buttons. Like on Vista and 7, these are a little bit more 3D, so they look like Arrow, as opposed to 8 and 10 where they look like this. But yeah, so video editing app for a phone. I used to use Samsung's Movie Maker, but they updated it and doesn't work on my phone anymore. On the Note 9, it worked on the Note 8, but it didn't work on the Note. It worked on the 5, the 7, and the 8, but not the 9. I tried installing the APK, and it just crashed. And mine's not even on Android 9, it's still on Android 8, so it's still not, it just crashes, so I can't really use that anymore. So I need to find another video editing app to use on my actual phone that doesn't suck. I wish Samsung didn't discontinue that app because it was nice, it was directly from Samsung, and it worked very well. But what are you going to do? But anyway, guys, it's almost midnight. I have work tomorrow. I want to get something to eat and go to bed, so I'm going to stop the stream. Anyway, guys, I'm going to stream the next debate tomorrow, and then, and I might be up a little bit later tomorrow since I don't have work on Friday. But either way, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be that, and then I'm not going to work on the video on Friday because I have a lot of errands to run, but at some point between now and the end of time, you will see the Note 8 review and some of the other reviews as well. I need to stop promising videos because I just get a huge backlog of content. I don't end up working on it. I have I have folders full of videos from upwards of years ago that I never uploaded just because I never got around to it. But yeah, so anyway, guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. This was Intellitech Studios signing out. I will see you guys in the next one, and hopefully you guys will turn up for the debates tomorrow and for all the other non-political streams I'll be doing. I will try to stream more often since it's a lot easier than having to actually sit down and do a video. Maybe I'll actually do just a stream review where I just review a phone in a stream. That wouldn't be the best quality, but it's something that I could do. I could maybe just try it as like a little experiment. You know, maybe if I ever get this S7 Edge unlocked, maybe that's how I'll do a review of the S7 Edge. I'll do a review of the S7 Edge, just like this, you know, just, hey, there's the S7 Edge. But yeah, so anyway, guys, Intellitech Studios signing out. I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm gonna go, and yeah, because it is 11:49 my time. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.